try to run to look to the prophets to see if they can find some information to calm them down, you know, to keep them stable in the mind. Because right now we stable, you know, we're not bugging out, we're not losing our minds. The truth is so powerful that even in the midst of adversity, you're gonna be stable. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were singing in the middle of fire, praising the Lord. So I mean, I don't know how much more stable it gets than that. That was it on that?
I'll quickly set to back that up. I think that's in the book of John 14. YAHAWASHI said that John 14 verse 20, I'll start at 6. It says, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So, hey, like you were saying, you know, everything that's happening right now, if I guess you would say a person of this world, they would find this troublesome. They would find this worrisome. That's why a lot of people, they try to avoid watching the news, or they try to avoid having these conversations, or they just keep that optimistic mindset of, oh no, things are going to get better, or, you know, we're not going to get involved, X, Y, and Z. But it's like, they're already doing that because their heart is troubled, their mind is troubled. Their mind is troubled with the possibility of this escalating and becoming, you know, more and more dangerous, turning into, you know, World War III. But for us, we're not troubled by these things because we remember what the Lord said. We have the Holy Spirit, which He said, these things should be brought to your remembrance. So now we know, okay, well, these things gotta happen. These things must come to pass so that we can actually get our everlasting rest. You know, here we have no continuing city, but we see one to come. And the only person that's going to really be in that mindset is somebody that has the mind of Yahawashi. Everybody else is going to have a whole different type of view of what's going on in the world. Even these so-called truthers, they talk about it from a realistic standpoint, but they always say, you know, we just got to pray, we just got to hope that cooler heads prevail, you know, that things de-escalate. But you see, your whole job is to see what's going on, and you see what's going on. You're doing shows on it, but you're still hoping that it's going to somehow de-escalate. That's because ultimately you don't have the spirit of Yahawashi. You're not truly a prophet.
They're troubled. They're troubled in mind.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they're afraid. And that's ultimately because they can see the danger, but that, I mean, you can only go so far if you see the danger. You know, but if you don't see what comes next, okay, the danger is here, that's fine. At some point, everybody's going to see the danger. The question then is going to be, what do we do? You know, there's always those two questions, right? Number one, what's going on? And number two, what do we do? You know, so when they get past the what's going on, now they struggling on the well, let's hope it de-escalate. It ain't going to de-escalate. So we're not in the mindset of praying for this place. Like you have certain people that you know, I forgot who it was. Some old scholar, some pastor was saying that the Lord, America is described as Babylon in the scriptures, and is prophesied to be destroyed. But we got to pray so the Lord can so the Lord can take back that judgment, so He doesn't bring judgment upon this place. But if you understood the scriptures, you know that the scriptures say the word of the Lord doesn't come back void. Right? It says like as if an arrow was shot of a mighty archer, and it doesn't turn back. So is the word of the Lord. No,
oh, my bad.
No, you should.
I'm like, the prophecies aren't boomerang.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't come back.
That's it.
The Lord said what? That that it will accomplish. You should consider at the end. He said, can you get Jeremiah 30th chapter? The last verse. The wrath of the Lord shall not return until it has. Got it? Nah.
Jeremiah 30:24. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until He have done it, and until He have performed the intents of His heart.
Actually, read up one verse, because we're going to say what He's going to do.
Yeah. Jeremiah 30:23. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked.
Hey, you know, that could be associated with the chariots, right? That continuing whirlwind, but also the continuous plagues, the continuing judgment that the Lord is going to bring on this place. It's not going to let up. It's not going to be to where it's like, oh, you know, always say, like, remember the time where shit was just going crazy? And oh yeah, that was a wild time in America. Like, nah. Once the Lord's visitation on the earth comes, His wrath comes, He's going to let it all out. He dealt with Israel in measure. Well, a little bit of judgment here, a little bit of judgment there, boom, boom, boom. But he didn't give Esau all the wickedness Esau did. I believe that's also in Second Maccabees, or First Maccabees, 6th chapter. You can find that when I believe Eleazar was speaking. He didn't give that to these other nations, to Esau. He let Esau continuously do these things, build up a tab over and over and over and over, without actually bringing the judgment. But with with Israel, every time we went off, the Lord immediately judged us, and that's really like a mercy thing too. You know, instead of just holding the wrath for a long time, he always judged Israel when they went off. That's why even to this day, people look at Israel like, y'all ain't nothing but slaves. Well, why are we nothing but slaves? It's not because we only fit. Nah, we ain't nothing but slaves because we've been punished for always going off. So that's why these heathens' mindsets, they like, oh, y'all just always has been at the bottom. And really, except for the 40 years between King David or the 80 years between King David and King Solomon, we have always been at the bottom. When you look at our history as a nation, but for Esau, he sees it as he's always been at the top, especially since the Renaissance period, and he's never really gotten judged for that. But keep going. I see you got precepts, all right?
Yeah. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart.
There you go. So he said the anger of the Lord is not going to return until he has performed the intents of his heart. He has an intention upon this place. And I think it says it in Isaiah, what he's going to accomplish his purpose. You're not going to stop the Lord's purpose. So you saying, oh, we got to pray for a Babel America, you got to pray that cooler has prevailed. That's literally falling on deaf ears. Yep. That's like, you're praying for the complete opposite. That's even YAHAWASHI told Peter that. When he said, oh, I don't want you to get killed. He's like, yo, you say the things that concern man. Get thee behind me, Satan. I got it.
In the latter days, ye shall consider it.
Yep, you should consider it. And how are you going to consider it? See, we already considered it. But the world is going to consider it when you realize, like, it's not stopping. It's continuously just getting worse and worse and worse. That's when you're going to find out, yo, like, this place is done. Because right now, people still have this false sense of a normalcy bias where, I can go to the park, I can go to the store, World War III is happening, or, things are bracketing up over there, but my life is still normal. So they're not really considering it. But guess what? Those people in Gaza, they're considering it. Mm-hmm. They're like, yo, we may not live. That's why they're writing their names on their child's names on their legs, so that they won't just be buried, mass buried, that they actually will have a name. They will know who this person is, what happened to them. That's the mindset that they're in at this point. They're considering the actual gravity of the situation. These Babylonians here in America, they're not considering what's going on right now.
Dwelling without walls, carelessly. Yep. Working on that? Yep. Okay,
yeah, this is Daniel 7th chapter. This is back up the elder one talked about the other nations haven't gotten judged yet. This is Daniel chapter 7, starting from verse 2. Verse 12, it says, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Yeah, pretty much. And at the end of the day, that's what's happening. That's why you see them here now today. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen to them anyways when YAHAWASHI comes back? Because as you read on in that chapter, it describes YAHAWASHI as that, wait, is that Daniel 7?
Daniel 7.
Okay, I think it still talks about him coming down, the saints going to take the kingdom, right? Yeah. So when YAHAWASHI comes, what?
Daniel 7 and 18.
7 and 18, that's it. So when YAHAWASHI comes back, he's going to lead that charge, and we're going to take them down. So guess what? At the end of the day, that's also a sign. See, so Daniel also got a sign. Now, during the time of the disciples, as we were reading in Matthew 24, he gave them the more detailed, explicit signs. Daniel, in his time, he got a more higher overview, and he got it in multiple different ways. He got it as the different beasts, recorded it. No, I'm saying he recorded. Oh, he recorded. Oh, okay. But they did have it recorded for us. You had a Nebuchadnezzar who had that dream of the statues, So this prophecy been there since the beginning. It tells you about, what's that, Luke 1 and I think 60 on down, how the prophets were prophesying about this from the beginning of the world, since the world began, And now we're coming to the fulfillment of that time. So you still got Matthew 24?
Yep. All right. So Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
And that's the times we're in right now. We're hearing of wars, actual wars, and we're hearing of rumors of wars. So what you're hearing of is, for example, you may be watching you may be watching like a news clip, and you'll hear maybe one of the somebody in the U.S. say like, hey, at this point, if the U.S. goes and does this, that can get Iran involved, and this can really spiral into a more major conflict, which could possibly lead Russia up in here and further nations, even go as far as NATO. That's a rumor of a bigger war, because you already have a war between Amalek and Gaza, but now, or Hamas, but now there are rumors out there of this war becoming an even bigger war, you know, like a vortex. Now, you know, this guy, I remember years ago, I mean, this was like 2013, 14, 15, David Icke, he was talking about that in that region there was going to be like a vortex. The event is going to be like a vortex that draws in all these nations that are going to come in there. So we were talking about World War III up all the way in 9th grade. You know, people were looking at you like, what the hell are you talking about? You know? This guy, storm clouds gathering.
Yeah. We thought that's when it was going to pop off.
Yep.
Back then.
Yep. But it was for a point in time. So that's why those signs that the Lord gave are very important, because what did he say? The end is not yet. Because you still have some other prophecies that got to take place. But you know what? It makes sense that these prophecies are going to be, you know, in a rapid succession. Because when you look at the tensions going on in the Middle East that are going to lead to the ultimate, you know, destruction, things are moving pretty rapidly. But it's like the Lord, he puts the brakes on it a little bit, then he lets it go, then he breaks it a little bit. But if that's happening very rapidly, then what about the things that got to take place before that? You know, it doesn't make sense for the tensions to be this high, and then you say that we got another 3 to 5 years for the MOTB to come out before this then continues this escalation into a world war. By then, they done already formed peace treaties and calmed their asses back down.
They would empty their banks.
Yeah, they would have done all that. You know, so while the tension is hot, the Lord is, you know, stalls it, right? The angels are holding back the winds, but then you got these other prophecies that, all right, now it's your turn, now it's your turn, now it's your turn, you know? Because the time of the MOTB, the martial law, and all of these things, first off, in order for them to implement a system like that, where if you don't have the MOTB, you pretty much can't do anything, they need to have some draconian-like measures in place, you know? They need, and in order to get those measures, they need that civil unrest.
They need a actual a catalyst,
yes,
to have that happen rapidly. It's like the whole thing happened with the image. Like those things that, you know, the whole lockdown and all that happened, that really happened very quickly. But why did it happen so quick? It was because it was something big enough to catapult it for everybody to everywhere to lock down.
right.
So you can easily, and we always talk about, you know, how back at the end of 2020, I believe, or the end of 2021 or end of 2020, where they had the financial simulation with the banks, the state of Israel, then like you had 10 big banks, they simulated a global financial problem, right, that collapse. That simulation, you don't do that for no reason. That takes time, that takes money. That's an operation that you're doing for a particular reason, to see what would happen if these things occurred. So all you now need, so you tested it, you already have the product that you want to bring out, right? You already tested it, you know, how everybody will respond or how the banks will respond to it. All you now need is the actual issue to occur for now you to bring this product, to bring this solution. We always say the you know, problem reaction solution, you know?
Yeah, and that's how, like you said, as a catalyst, because they do something known as exercises, and then when it becomes real, they make it a live exercise. Like the pandemic, that was a live exercise, and they said it. I mean, I remember at that time it was Pompeo. He was there with I think his name is Mike Pompeo. He was standing next to Trump, and he was saying, he said, hey, I mean, guys, they were talking to the media, and he said, guys, I know this is a live exercise here, but we still have to, you know, put it together like it's real for the people to believe it. You know, so they're saying all this shit on TV. It's like, what the fuck? Why are people not paying attention? Same thing with the whole war thing. Like the Zaquan said, it's a catalyst that brings in all this new draconian measures and all this different shit. Yesterday I saw that they were saying that they're going to be bringing new travel measures, all right, because of safety. Because now, this whole Hamas situation, whether you might be in Africa, Asia, Europe, anywhere at all, there could be a threat. You know, there's a feeling of threat. So everybody got to be safe. So download this app that it connects you to the feds. So now the feds can tell you, hey, there's an alert here, so check it out. Or don't go over there. Or there's a grouping, or there's a protest, so don't go over there, that kind of thing. So another way of controlling the people. You know, over there in Israel, where they have the whole conflict, what do you think they're bringing over there? They're bringing all new strategic weapons. All right, that's every time they have a war, that's when they bring in the new innovative technology. You know, oh, we're sending aid over here, we're sending aid over there. What aid are they sending? You think of aid, you think of money. When they say military aid, they're talking about send the troops in there. Send the troops. You know, when we say humanitarian aid, we're trying to help the people. No, it's not humanitarian aid. It's bring the troops in who are going to guide and control where the people are going to go. That's all it is. And you wait till it comes over here to America, it's going to be the worst. Why? Because Americans are going to try to defend themselves. It's going to get bloody. Over there in the other countries, it doesn't get that bloody. You will have protests in the streets. You're going to have the fires, the Molotov cocktails being thrown around and shit. You have that because the people don't have arms to defend themselves. So you see them going back and forth with the police and all that. Over here in America, it's not going to be that way. They're going to be using strategic bombers. They're going to be using the tanks, the military, the super soldiers. Exactly. It's going to come over here. And that's what's prophesied, man. So get ready for that. All right? But again, these are all steps leading to one thing and one thing only. The MOTB, then World War III. Okay?
Yeah, I believe that's how you had to
Yeah, right. So to a point, what you just actually said again, as far as like the time and like you let it go, then goes in. All right, so this is the book of Esdras, 2nd Esdras chapter 4, verse 37. And it reads, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So basically all of it, I mean, every step got to be taken. Everything he has to be done. Nothing skipped.
Yeah, he has measured those times, right? So meaning the Most High has set it up. So that's why only the Most High knows, you know, this is going to happen this time, this is what's going to happen, because he's the one setting it up. You know, at this point, I'm going to make this happen, then I'm going to make this happen. But remember, the Most High doesn't dwell in time, you know? So for us, it's like, okay, at what time is this going to happen? For the Most High, it's like, I'm going to set this to happen when it's going to happen. It's appointed. It's already baked into the timeline. You know, we just got to keep on, and we'll see as we get closer, but we don't know the exact point in time. And the Most High ain't going to take the time, all right, this is supposed to happen on this date, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to move it to this date. He ain't going to do that because he's bound by his word.
You can't even do that. If it's a movie, once the movie's already out, like you can't change the movie while the movie's playing.
Correct.
You know? So things are already set. It's already been written. The script has already been given to the producers.
Yep.
The producers are already set up the set, the plot, and the actors are already acting it out. So it's already, that's why he said I declared the end from the beginning. You know, and that's why we ultimately, for us to have the knowledge, that's why we can be at peace. That's why we can be, you know, have a mind that is not bugging out right now, wisdom and knowledge and understanding, because we know how the movie ends. You know, even though we're in it, but we know how it ends, and Lord willing, we are the ones that are preserved to receive salvation.
Right.
Why else do you want to know how it ends if you're not going to try to fight to you know, to be delivered from it?
Right.
Right, hey, even a perfect example, the movie thing. Even before you get casted into the movie, you get the role you're gonna play. You get to read it. You read the script, you know, and then they do the testing, and then they say, okay, this guy would be best to fit this role. So we are the prophets who get to read the script of the movie. So we know what's going on. So the whole time, we are playing a role in the movie, but really we understand the movie. We know, okay, this is beginning, middle, end, everything in between. We understand it. So now our job is to what? Is to tell the people, basically spoil the movie for you, all right? And you got people who are gonna pay attention to it and say, oh, yo, they said that this is gonna happen in the movie at this time. Oh, okay, bet. I'm gonna pay attention to that. I'm gonna wait for that because there's a very important detail. You might miss that. They're not gonna tell you everything, but they're gonna tell you enough where you gotta pay attention to it, you know? And then when the scene comes in, you see it, you be like, oh, that's what the prophets were talking about. Oh, this part of the movie, we gotta do this because it's gonna happen in real life or whatever it may be, you see? But the people who are passing by, you hear the inner parts of the movie, but you're not paying attention to it. You don't care, you know? And those are the same people that in the part of the movie, they get destroyed. It's like a flood that just takes them all over, or a big ass accident, or an earthquake that collapses the building that they were warned to get out of. Whatever happens, it's always the people who got the warning that didn't pay attention. They always get messed up. They show you the same thing in every movie, man. No, but I got a quick precept. Corey mentioned in YAHAWASHI, you also brought out this point here. There's a book of Job, chapter 14, and verse 5. It says, "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." Right. So again, Esau has a time to rule. Okay. Physically, he has a space to rule. He can't make it out of that space. That's the bounds. And also, the time of his rulership is also a bounds. So when it gets to that time, the scriptures tell you in 2nd Ezra that what? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That end, it has to come. And guess what? We are at that end. Okay? That's why you're seeing these devils, their names are being put in the mainstream a lot more for the whole world to see. Why? Because they're now on trial. Everything that the prophet, remember last time we were in Prophet Amboy, we talked about this. We used the example of being put on trial, and now look what's going on. So they are being put on an open trial on the internet through the prophets and the men of the Lord. And now the whole world is open to see the trial. So what you're seeing now, and it's going to escalate. This whole concept, oh, anti-this and anti-that, guess what? It's going to come to the point where people are going to tune in and say, okay, the topic of the world conversation is, who are the Israelites? That's it. And once that time comes, the whole world is going to tune into that very point. And you're going to see Amalek versus Israelites. That's what it's all boiling down to, because the whole war, the Lord said it, that he's going to plead with all these people, these nations, because of who? Because of Israel. The Israelites, the 12 tribes. Okay? So that's the next step and part of the movie.
Hey, that's spiritual, because I believe in 2 Thessalonians, Paul said what? That the iniquity, the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, and he who will let it until he be taken out of the way, right? And then shall that wicked be revealed. So he's going to let him work, as you said, the bound, the time, until the appointed time. It says, and he who let it, which is the Most High, will let him do it until he be taken out of the way. The Esau is the end of the world. That's why even in 2nd Esdras, they asked, Esdras asked, what should be the parting asunder of time? What should be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows? So he gave him the sign. All right, this is what this is going to look like. That's what it's going to be. Esau's the end of the world. That's what you got to look out for. Write that down. When you come back, remember that. Because it's like, these things that we're reading, we wrote those things for us in these latter days through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. That's why, even when you read about Paul, Paul knew who the wicked was. Paul knew who Esau was, but he couldn't write it that way because he was in the Roman, like, the scriptures wouldn't have lasted if it was like, yo, this white, this red man, like, he the devil. And he gonna get into power, but yeah, nah, he gonna get taken. That wouldn't have lasted throughout time. So the Lord, that's why the Lord said, I give my secrets to my servants the prophets. They wrote it this way. You write there in mystery, call him the man of sin, call him the son of perdition, call him that wicked, call him that old serpent. But who we talking about? Y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna know when y'all come back. That's why he told Daniel, stand in your lot in the latter end. He told John that in the latter end you're gonna have to prophesy again to kings and to nations. So these things were written for us at the end, because the end when everything is going to manifest. I believe 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Then shall the end be manifest. And that's why right now we're able to bring all these things that were written aforetime. Everybody has access to, but nobody understands what's going on. Is because the Lord said, "Nah, I'm sending my prophets last. I sent the Christianity. I sent Islam. I sent you doing all these other things. Now I'm gonna send the prophets last." And that's why this has become so globalized. Rapid.
Wisdom of Solomon 8:8. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjectureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speeches, and can expound dark sentences.
So when it says she, is not talking about an actual woman, but really those that have wisdom will be able to exhibit those characteristics. Like we're able to expound on dark sentences. You know, we're able to understand the subtleties of speech. You know?
If I may, as the elder just mentioned, he made the point about, well, it's encoded, so it's not for everybody to see, but if you can expound on dark sentences, that means you can look at, oh, accuser of our brethren, what is that talking about? Who is that? That's an actual man, that's an actual nation, Esau. But that's the spirit of wisdom has to be with us to break it. Oh yeah, just read on. It says, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and the events of seasons and times. Yep. Yes, you foresee of signs and wonders. So that's why we see the things that's going on in the world. It's not a mystery to us. It's not a, well, I don't know what's going on, what's what, because the prophecy has a practical application of what's happening in the real world. The Christians, they'll say, well, yeah, the prophecy, man, that's a great prophecy, but you don't even know what it means.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you don't actually know how is it playing out. How is Joel 3, you know, awaken the Gentile, or, you know, awaken the mighty man? How is that playing out? Proclaim this among the Gentile. How does the book of Obadiah play into what's happening right now? How is the book of Revelation 12 and 12 applying to right now? To them, it's just a loose bunch of dark sentences and fairy tales that they can't actually apply to real life. So the scriptures is a dark book to you. It's useless to you. It only has value when it's wielded by the right men.
I think it's in that same chapter that says she making friends of the holy prophets.
Yep. I think that's 7. You want me to get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a very difficult thing if you really think about it in order to really break down the scriptures, especially the prophetic ones. Because you need to first decipher what's being written, understand what is it that you're talking about, and then understand, okay, linking the people that identified in it. Because it'll say this person will do this. You got to understand, okay, what is this person going to do? But then who is this person? And when you understand that, then you got to link them with modern day what's happening. So it's very easy for you to say, that's why people turn around and say Babylon is the Vatican, you know, or the beast is Rome, or you know, something like that. And I'm not talking about the Roman Empire. They're talking about actual Rome itself, you know, because it's easy, very easy to link prophecy with the wrong thing. Because if you have only understanding of that one part, you may say, oh, this makes sense that this is talking about this one person or one group or one event. But you need understanding of the whole book before you get a balanced outlook to know, oh no, this ain't talking about the Vatican, this is talking about America. You know, so it's not an easy thing, but for us, because of the Spirit of the Lord, He made it so.
I just wanted to read this in the compact. We brought it out plenty of times, but it applies here. When you read about Edom, it says Edom figures prominently in prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgment. So the scriptures, like the Paul, like we were just saying, Paul, you read about in Revelation where it speaks about our day of Armageddon and World War. It never mentions Edom, right? It doesn't say Edom. These scholars, they did a diligent search, because obviously they give you the scriptures where it speaks about future judgment. Well, if that future judgment, Isaiah the 34th chapter, Isaiah the 63rd chapter, Jeremiah 49, if that never happened yet, then Edom still has to be on the scene. They still have to be here. And a lot of, especially the vocab and all those guys, Edom done away with. Well, it said it deals prominently. That word prominent means like they're an important figure. They're important. They have an important role in the movie of prophetic scriptures of future judgment. But the Lord gave the prophecy or the understanding of, all right, well, who is Edom today? Who is that now? Because they're not going by Edom anymore. None of these nations really go by their actual Hebrew names. Ishmael, maybe, they don't really go by Ishmael. They know the Ishmaelites, but they don't go around there, I'm an Ishmaelite. You know what I mean? So only one that really does it is the one that ain't it. It is the 48ers. How is that the only one that lasts? Out of all these tribes, they're the only ones that still got their names.
They got some biblical identity.
Right. And no, you took the wrong biblical identity. You took the one that you were the complete opposite of.
They're taking the Hamites.
Yeah. They take the Hamites too, right? They show the pictures, but they don't say like, yo, we're the actual Hamites, but they actually profess that boldly. But the wicked, as we read, the end shall the wicked be revealed. So now that's being revealed, and that is actually through the Spirit of the Lord's mouth, the prophets, and that's what's causing everything in the world to now to unravel. That's what's causing the end to unravel, the end to be manifested, because they've been revealed. Ezekiel 37, in the valley of dry bones, the Israelites been waking up. Now the ball gets rolled toward the end of this. But remember, the Lord said that this is compared to like a drop to the real story, which is us in the kingdom. Like you always say, this is the prologue. So this got to come in quick.
It's a little funny too that the fact that they go so hard to try to let people know that Esau Edom is done away with. That means that they exist. The fact that you have to come out and say, well, they don't exist anymore, if it was a known thing, you wouldn't have the need to come out and tell the world about it.
Yeah, nobody tries to argue that dinosaurs don't exist anymore
exactly.
or something like that.
Because you don't see them. You don't need to go educate someone. Hey, you know, dinosaurs don't exist. They're done away with. You know, we know that. We don't see them around. But Esau Edom is very, very much alive. He's the one who rules everything. You can't hide from it. You could say, oh no, that's anti this. You could call it all you want. You just can't say it's not the truth, because it is the truth. You can call it names. You can call it hate speech. You can guess what? Facts ain't hate. I always say that. Facts ain't hate, man. And the world is waking up to those facts. Whenever I see a video, I go in the comment section. All you see for the most part is people saying the same things we say. That, oh, those are not the true Israelites. Those are not the true people from God and all. They say it all the time. They ask questions that I haven't even thought about. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So people are tuning in. They are tuning in, and they're not going according to the narrative that Esau Edom is pushing no more. They're not playing with that no more. You know?
So now what is the narrative that he's trying to use? There's one last ditch effort before he comes down with the sword again, is victimization.
Yep.
That's the last thing. That's his last like deceptive tactic to use. Before it's like, you know what? Fuck it, cat's out the bag. You know how they take the running, fake a mask off, and you see the devil, cat's out the bag, nigga, here I am. And then they go like, I would have got away with it. That's why they gonna persecute us. I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling prophets. And then now but that's what the Lord said, when the enemy coming like a flood. So we all see it. You know, we see what's going on. Everybody's pointing a finger at you. You've been exposed. The Lord said that that I shall uplift your skirt. Right? I'm gonna show the nations. This is him being the nations being shown. You still trying to cry, you still trying to do what you did with Cain. As Cain, you still trying to do, oh, this is too much for me. You still trying to do what you did with Esau. You have one, it's not working no more. You're not getting away with the same shit no more. Because this is the time of the judgment.
Let me add to the elder's point. It's getting so bad right now in Israel. They just gave the go-ahead for them to use live ammunition on protesters, because their own people are protesting against what they're doing. They're like, oh, we don't want war, you know, stop raining death on those Palestinians. And the elites over there, the heads, they don't give a shit. They're like, listen, if you're against us, and how are you the people of God? How are you the nation of Israel if you can't even come to one accord amongst yourselves? You can't even come to one accord. They can't even agree on what they want to do in terms of war. They're protesting because they want to be probably sodomites still, you know, because you have the right wing over there too, just like you have it over here. You know, and Esau can't hide himself. I was just watching Stephen Benoon, you know, Israel News Live on YouTube. That dude is red as hell. You seen his last video? His face looks super red. And Edom means what? Adawam, red. So even though it's hidden in plain sight, and it's dark, but when you actually know it, when the Lord gives you the spirit of wisdom, to see the dark sentences and to be able to break it down, you're like, oh, this is plainly obvious. So they must have a delusion to not be able to see it.
And you know, it's so interesting too, because like the concepts of it is like, it's really a mystery, because if we're talking about Jacob and Esau, they're twin brothers. But why y'all, like, we don't look nothing like y'all, but it makes perfect sense why we are what we look like, and then that's why the scripture says, like, he came out red all over like a hairy garment, right? That's a dark saying, really, but it's really not too. Like, it's like, why did he, all right, who's this? Who does this match? You just look in the world like, who is this nigga? Like, somebody gotta fit this nigga. Like, why is he red? Like, why is he a red person? But then that's why they changed the whole vernacular of it. Oh, we're not red, we're you know, so-called white. You know, we're this, you know. You changed, that's what was that, Revelation the 20th chapter? Yep. We went out for a little season to deceive the nations. Because before that, before the Renaissance, people knew who Israel was, people knew who Edom was, they knew all these things. They had, even I believe it was during the time of YAHAWASHI, Antipater, the Idumeans, so you still had the Idumeans as a nation of people. Yep. But once they came from out of the dark ages, and the Lord let him out for a season, it says literally for the purpose for him to be let out. To do what? To deceive the nations and to gather for the great war of Gog and Magog.
Yep. Here we are.
Here we are.
The Lord did it with the
Gotcha.
You know, like, I'm talking about escalating quickly. It all started on the 7th of this month. Like, that's when all this started. Look how much it's progressed.
Right. Yeah.
And October, I mean, it's a couple days left, but like, and the dude, a God from Israel said that expect this to go on for months. at least. So
Yeah, they said it's gonna be a long.
Yeah.
What's this guy? Kirby?
Yeah,
That's Kirby. They said. I think
Bloody.
somebody asked him. Somebody said, "Yo, Biden said that if Iran did something, that they were gonna respond, and Iran just decided, and now they ain't do that. So when we go, is this the response?" He said, "Oh, come on, really?"
We will respond. Yeah, you said we
And it's the
respond
bias at that?
at a time that we want, at a position that we want. Like, bro,
Bloody.
Yo, these guys right here, they come talking all that shit. At the end of the day, the Lord, they gonna do it when the Lord pushes them to do it.
right, yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like Pharaoh. You know, the Lord
Wants
hardened.
to, but yeah.
He don't want to see Pharaoh. Really, he was gonna let him go. The Lord said, no. I need no.
That same energy.
Keep that. There you go. So the Lord kept that same energy on him, and that's what the Lord is doing to these guys right here. You know, they're like, yo, we know it's gonna be World War III, but then the Lord puts the Spirit on them. You still gonna do it anyway. You're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how Satan get in their mind. It's like, you gonna let him talk to you like that, man? You know, when two people are fighting and somebody hypes them, you gonna let them talk to you like that? You gonna let them Palestinians do you like that, man? Come on, E. You looking weak out there, man. You letting them just do whatever with you, man. Come on, step it up. You supposed to be the hammer of the earth. You supposed to be the wicked. This is supposed to be your world right now. Act like it, nigga.
But they're going ultimately, because we in that time now. Now that's a good point you brought out, right? Because this whole thing started on the 7th, and just like that, we already at a point where they talking about ground invasions, right?
Yeah.
So you see how quickly, because on the 6th or the 5th or the 1st, ain't nobody was thinking about that.
or you had
Over here?
in the same month? Was that this month? Where you had the emergency alert?
that was
Yeah,
the,
it was this
that was the
The
fifth.
4th.
Oh, that was the
Yeah,
fourth.
Oh, that's the
fourth.
fourth.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it was
It was on
okay.
the 4th. Yep.
So you
Yep.
had that.
Yep.
A couple months earlier, remember they gave out all of the senators the radio,
yep,
the phones.
Yep.
Like, why y'all doing all this?
All of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden you just doing that. Then you got the emergency alert system. Like, there's literally the Lord is the mustering up the host of the battle. Like, it's something that's happening.
Hey, remember last year around the same time, there was a video that came out of how to basically what to do in the case of a
Oh, in
nuclear
New York,
explosion
right?
in New York
Yeah,
City.
yeah, yeah.
Around the same time. I remember that.
Yeah. Hey, well, they shall waste a portion of the land of Assyria. Yep. You got that? Yeah. Because we in a time of war. You know, and the reason we're talking about this like it's so prevalent is because we know what's gonna come out of that east. We know what's gonna come out of that region. You know, a lot is gonna go in there. A lot of people are gonna go in there, but a lot is gonna come out of there as well. Okay? So just you watch.
Right? So Matthew chapter 24, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. Oh, so like jump into verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yeah, and it says in diverse places, right? Now keep in mind that there are actual famines, like right now, there are places that are in severe famine. You know, and just because it's not happening in your blocks, you know, doesn't mean it's not happening. That's why Yahawashi mentioned in diverse places. The earth itself is in trouble, meaning the inhabitants of the earth are actually suffering and struggling. The thing is that well-developed countries, they basically get it last because they're more advanced than, like, for example, a third world country. But it doesn't mean nothing is happening.
And that's also why a lot of these first world countries are trying to push so quickly for the whole lab-grown food. Because they're saying that, I mean, also you do have Esau just being a demon with that, but they're also saying that this is for because there's a food security globally. And like how you said, the developed countries, they get it last. And they're trying to be ahead of the curve. So like, yo, in 10, 5, 6, 3 years, whatever's happening in Yemen, that can happen right here because we're running out of food supply. So we gotta get it. We gotta start making food. We gotta start doing lab-grown food and try to process it and have it happen quick. Because there's a whole actual process that goes into making actual food. They don't just pop up like yours. They just don't pop up in the supermarket. They gotta go through a whole process. And that process, because the earth is failing, right? The Lord said in 250 chapter, the crops is going to fail, the earth is going to be failing. It's now taken, and then you also got on top of that how Esau just destroying the earth, so it's not yielding up its strength as much. So you can't just wait on the earth to do what it does every cycle to produce enough food for everybody to eat. So what do? Now we got to make food, but that's the famines.
Right.
Because you making that food. A lot of people are not going to eat that shit. A lot of people are going to eat it, but a lot of people are not going to eat it. So that's going to cause what? If there's a shortage of actual food, that's going to cause riots. Second Ezra 15 chapter for the lack of bread, because the lack of bread can happen before you even have mass production of this lab grown shit. Then what? Now you fighting over the supplies or the scarcity supplies of actual food that you have. Why are they locking up shit already? So it's the whole process, as the YAHAWASHI said. You're going to have famines. You're going to have in diverse places, wars in diverse places. It's not just here in America. It's the actual type of the world. The Lord said He's going to visit the earth with you, man.
Right.
Hey, real quick, I was listening to the BBC News. This was like about a month ago or so, and they were saying that I think in Nigeria there's a lady. She has like she got a family. She got a husband. I think she had 2 kids and herself. And what they do is every day, their job is basically to be workers for the family, right? That's their job. They don't go out to work any professional jobs. Their job is the family. So the man has the land, and he decides, okay, I'll give a small portion of the land to my wife to garden. You work on your garden when you're not working in my field type shit. So during the morning, she makes food. They take it to the farm. They go work in the farm on her husband's land or whatever with the kids and everything. They come back home in the evening. She cooks and all that. Cool. Story is, she's saying that now it's hard for them to even grow crops because what's happening is the forecast, right? When the news people come out and say, hey, expect some rain next month, everything, they do all the preparation to go in for next month, and then next month comes, there's no rain. And then there'll be a month where they'll be like, okay, we're expecting it to be dry completely. That dry completely, they don't prepare. And then next thing you know, they get the rain that they were looking for. And then she was saying it, when she was saying it, I said, wait, time out, hold up, that doesn't even make sense. How is this happening? It's gotta be Esau sending out misinformation. Why? Because now she's saying that everything is off. The whole cycle is off to the point where they can't tell what's happening. So now they can't grow crops. Last year, same thing happened. So this year, the food that they have is from previous years. So they didn't grow anything from last year for this year and the year after this. So whatever they have is like years ago. See, so now they gotta work with what they got now because they weren't able to plant nothing last year. This is something that's even happening here in America. Out west, this was back in 2018, 2019. Dabu was reporting on this. He was saying that the farmers are saying that they can't grow their crops no more. The fertile is all messed up and shit, right? And they were saying that, yo, this was 2018, 2019, that the food is gonna be affected years from now. They were saying like 3-4 years. We are in that time span. We are in that time span. So famines in diverse places. Argentina, they were having no food for like years. Back in like, was it 2017, 18 around there? They said they had no food whatsoever. Women were selling themselves. This was all happening. Inflation at an all-time high. They had hyperinflation. You know?
Venezuela as well.
Venezuela, yep, same thing. And those are what are considered third world countries. So like the elder and the brother was saying, the same thing is going to come over here to America and all these developed countries. But it has to happen in order for them to be able to pitch their 3D printed meat and all this extra shit. They have to eradicate the food process. They have to eradicate the natural way of eating and then present to you the solution, which nobody's going to like.
They said that with the whole Ukraine war, that a lot of the grain, the fertilization comes from that area.
Yep.
And because of the whole war, it really gets it. America, the westernized country, gets it from there. Because these third world countries, a lot of them, like in the Middle East and like Asia, they have their own stuff. They can grow their own shit. A lot of things get imported to over here to America, and that's America being a rich country, the world's currency. They're able to buy that food product from them, and that's how these other countries live delicious. That's how they get rich off of America, because they got the product, America got the money, but now the product can't get over here. So now that's causing what? That's when you're going to start seeing the effects of the wars. The wars can bring in famines. That happens. Wars can bring, a financial crisis. So now you have the war in Russia and Ukraine causing a food insecurity, and then you can have this war. They saying that can affect the oil, and then if the oil get fucked, that's after that. It's over. That's over.
It's over. It's over. Cause that's the whole fossil fuel shit. It's over because they already stopped drilling here in American soil. So everything we're getting here is imported. So now the imports, all these countries that deal with crude oil and all these different things, they're gonna shut down on America too. They're gonna side with the Arabian countries, and they're gonna come against America because everybody sees what the hell is going on here in America, bro. that all this shit started because of America, and it always starts with America. Guess what? Oh, there's war over here, America got to join in over there. Oh, there's war over there, America's over there. Why? Why? All these countries are asking the same thing. Turkey came out and said it. Huh?
You keep it not at home.
Keep it not at home, exactly. So Turkey's even joining in. Turkey's a NATO country. And their question, they're like, yo, why are you butting your head over here all the time?
48ers just gave a decree to have all of their citizens
Turkey,
out
right?
there leave come from Turkey.
Shit.
Yep.
The 48ers are part of NATO too. So how the fuck are you gonna say, okay, 2 NATO countries are
But not officially. I don't think they're officially. Oh yeah.
They're not?
Nah, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. I don't think they're officially a part of NATO because it's the EU
shit, okay.
and America and Canada.
Okay,
But they're
okay.
like allies.
Yeah, because
They might be control NATO.
Right. Because I was like,
Remember,
because if something happens to Israel, automatically, I think that they said it brings in Article 5. And that can only happen if you're a part of NATO. I'm gonna have to double check. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and check
Maybe because
that.
how
Oh,
closely tied the
America-
U.S. is with
Right.
with
'Cause if
Israel.
America gets involved,
Gets
then
involved,
other
they bring
nations
in
got to
NATO.
get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Article 5. But we can go back and
Right,
check
right.
that, yeah. You know, but again, these nations are all coming to a tense head. This morning, in the car, remember the video I was watching? I think he was the son of somebody from Iran, one of the top people from Iran, and he made a statement. He just said straight up, listen, America, you make one more move, and it's gonna be the last you ever make. I said, oh shit, like,
They say I'm strong.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Since when? And this is Iran, and they don't play that.
Well, what were we reading earlier today? 2nd Ezra 15.
Yep.
It says the Carmanians shall join, come raging in wrath.
With them.
You know,
Yep.
and they're going to join in the war with them, with the Arab nations. So that means that when Iran joins, it's going to be through something major is going to cause them to be so angry, so wrathful that they're going to come in there with that anger. You know, and when they come, like it says, like the wild boars, and them boars, man, you think there's just like some regular pigs? Don't go mess with a bush pig. You're gonna see what, and they fast. Yeah, they can kill you. You know, them shits. Yeah, you
Maul you
find
to
out.
death.
Even the predators be having to be careful with.
Yeah, this ain't no Timon and Pumbaa shit. You know? Hakuna Matata, yeah. Yeah, you gonna be worried. Yeah, that's it. Got that?
I mean, I hit the last.
Okay, all right.
Joel 3.
It was what?
Joel 3.
Yeah, let's get Joel 3 and then Joel 2 and 20. You're gonna need to keep hitting them precepts, especially them Ezekiel 38s, them Joels, you know, them Revelation 18s, them Isaiahs, because that's the times that we're in. You know, so because the Jeremiah 50s and 51s and 34s and 49s, you know, and 47s, all of them, because now that we're in those times, these are the main focus precepts. You know,
And really, hitting those right now is really the Lord's last compassion.
right.
Because like, we already see how these things is about to lead to the eventuality of us not being actually able to teach. We're not going to be actually able to break down things, break down the scriptures. And people are going to be looking for that. The scripture says that they want to try to seek the Lord, seek to hear the word of the Lord, but they're not going to be able to find it.
Yeah.
They might still have the Bible, but how are you going to be able to understand what's going on? Because the scripture is never going to say the Iranians.
Right.
It's not going to say the Russians. So you're going to try to look in the scriptures for like, oh, is there any type of evidence or any type of understanding of what's going on? But you're not going to be able to get it.
Right.
Because the ones who the Lord had it, he had you out there. He had the ones out there actually making sense, making it plain upon the tables, but you didn't take advantage of that. You misused the prophets. So then what happens when they get taken off? When we get taken off of the streets or off of being able to speak, that doesn't stop the Lord's prophecy.
Right.
The prophecies are still, what we've been talking about right now, that's actually still going to be happening. Now you're just not going to know. You're going to be lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And that's going to be even a more dangerous position for somebody to be. Because you got certain things happening, and then like, I remember I seen a old clip of 911, and there were people like on the bay or whatever, or like on the shore, and they saw the actual plane hit. And the guy's like, what's happening? Like, you see what's happening, but you can't make sense of it.
Right,
Like, you know, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? What's happening? It wasn't until you actually had George Bush came on, we just got hit with terrorism, blah, 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 blah. But you was in a state of confusion for a minute. But the thing is, nobody's going to come once everything hits the fan. When shit hits the fan, nobody's going to come, oh, yeah, this is actually the prophecy of, you know, like the scriptures that we just named. So you're just going to be in a state of panic or like, why are we going on? What's happening? What's going on? Until you end up either riding out until the missiles come, or you end up dying in some other type of way.
It says there shall be no man left to comfort them. You know, like you were saying, because whenever something comes out, there's always somebody to come and tell you, oh, this is what's happening, but we're gonna have it. We got it under control. Even if it's a lie, there's some damage control. But ain't gonna be none of that in this time.
They said the power shall stand in fear.
Yeah.
When Kirby go up there, he might be like,
I don't know.
your little stupid ass look. I don't know. I don't know. They were like, they ain't gonna be having no more. They ain't gonna be no more of that little black bitch up there talking. John, yeah. She gonna be gone.
Gone.
They all them that got the little radio phones. They were like, oh shit. They gonna be talking you from the phone like, yo, you just go to your nearest fallout shelter because we don't know what's going on. Like they're raging. The Comanians are raging. We don't know what's going on.
Yep.
They even said that, like the thing that happened in Maine, right? They told the people that just stay shelter in place. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where this nigga at. We don't know who he is. Just stay in place. That's the only thing we can tell you. So you got people up there that was afraid. They're like, who the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck? You know? But imagine that on a global scale or like on a national scale.
And it talks about that also in 2nd Esdras 15 about how I was reading that earlier, right? From the land of Assyria, they start to siege them, and that they're gonna do something that's gonna cause like basically some attack. That's going to cause fear between it says the hosts, you know, and the kings, you know, so meaning their presidents and them in the top parts, they're going to be like, what the hell is going on, you know? We don't know what just happened. We just got hit with some shit, but we don't know what's going on, you know, and people going to be completely losing it because don't sleep on that, man. That narrative of people flushing in through the border, something is going on in there. No, they wouldn't come out and tell you that there may be some Hamas people in there for no reason, you know? They were bringing these people in by the boatloads. So definitely that, and if they're saying people from Hamas are in there, then most definitely they can come out and say that there's some Iran-backed militias or sleeper cells or all of them in there. You know, so that's not a far-fetched thing at all. And with that, imagine they come out and they do some major attacks. You don't think that's grounds for martial law? Like on a heavy level? Yeah, and they don't know who's who.
The stock market.
Yeah.
Because when 9/11 happened, global stock markets collapsed.
Oh, they said the S&P 500 has gone down. This is the 3rd month in a row that they've seen a decrease. Not even not even this. It's just straight down. Yeah, 3 months straight. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Beautiful. Keep going. You got something?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's bring that up.
Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near.
So why did you say wake up the mighty men? Because when you got reserves, right? So when people are in the army, typically when it's most active when there's war. Of course, you always have personnel, but it's most active when there's war. That's your military, and they go to wherever they got to go and do what they got to do. But in times of peace or times of not so whatever war, you got people that get discharged, if that's the correct term, and then you got some people that are not really active in there. But now what they're doing is they're calling people out of reserves. They really training up these people. And you know what? Because of that time of peace, they thought it was okay to throw women up in here, throw softies up in here, because everybody's thinking I could just go to the army and just chill. Go into the military.
You know what's crazy about that is what Joel is saying is he's telling, really the Lord is telling Joel to say that. Joel represents what? The prophets. And he's saying, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Go tell them, prepare war. And that's what we're doing. Like, go tell y'all, prepare war. Because that's exactly what happened when we started waking up. What was the first thing we were talking about? Oh, y'all going to World War III. That's what the prophets did. So proclaim this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. We woke up now. This is our shit. Y'all done. Y'all gonna fight amongst each other. We're not gonna fight. I wish I gonna come. We don't got a military. Y'all fucked this up, right? But prepare war. Wake up your mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. But what you just said, they had this soft time, right? It says good times make soft men. They had this time where they thought, hey, everybody, there ain't gonna be war. We have a global Pax Americana. There's global peace. But now, once the Israelites woke up, things started to be mustered up. Now you got tensions involved. But now you got all your people, all your mighty men ain't mighty right now.
That's it.
So now they start to say your mighty men gonna cry bitterly. They gonna forborn to fight.
They become as women.
But you still gotta prepare war.
Yep. They become as women. That's the times that we're in.
Speaking, you said that they become women. I don't know if y'all seen this like army cats. They was like little softies, as you call them. They was dancing and prancing around. Dude was doing extremely feminine, like dancing in the army uniform. And you know, basically somebody says like, yo, America can't. That's why that guy said that America has no position to win any war with anybody.
TikTok army.
I think there was a video where they showed on
Yeah,
the side by side. They got like the Russian army. You got dudes walking in the dead of winter with the boots on. You know, they tough. And they flip to these guys. They doing TikTok videos. They got the camera set. Okay. And then they doing the dances and shit. They're like, oh,
transforming with the U.S. Marine crowd. Like, oh yeah, y'all done. Like,
Done.
and the thing about it, I know you want to say something. What you say? No, go ahead. I don't want to. I gotta get my thoughts.
I was also going to say that this is also making mockery upon America, because what? The same thing that the Lord did upon Egypt when he was mocking those gods of Egypt when he was when he did the red when he was it the Nile River and to play, and then with the boils upon the beasts and all that, that was making mockery of the gods. So what's the Heavenly Father doing at this time? Now with the TikTok, like you was mentioned, everybody can see that the whole world. So the whole world seeing that this is America. This is the army that was so great and powerful that y'all looking like pretty much like children out here playing dress up. Like that's how y'all look. Now they're making the Heavenly Father's making America look like a fool now. They're pretty much mocking the same thing that they exalted to make them look like a fool.
Yeah, they give the women boob jobs. Like if you go into the army, well, wherever you are, yeah, if you're a woman, because they want their soldiers to have confidence. So yeah, if you go into if you're a man, you tell you having troubles with your wife, she don't look that good anymore, they'll pay for her to have plastic surgery. Like enhancement surgery. I'm not kidding, it's for real. It's like all the branches. So women go in there to get all that, you know. That's what's going on in there. They don't go in there because they're strong and that they're patriotic. They're just going there for perks. You know, yeah, exactly, perks and crazy stupid shit like that.
I got a quick precept. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16 says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." And that's exactly what Shalomar was speaking about. What was the glory of America? This military, right? The superpower. That was like, there's no military that can match us, our Marines, our Navy, it's this and that. Now it's a shameful spewing upon that. And it happened, and that's why when you think about it, the whole that come quickly, we talked about it, like it happened in one generation. Because you got the same military men that say, back when I was a cadet and blah, 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 we was tough, blah, blah, blah. But those men are like 60, 70, 80 years old now, and when they see these new generation of mighty men, they're embarrassed. They're like, oh, he's quiet.
He's like, I didn't fight, I didn't put my life on the line for a country like this bullshit. He was pissed.
And when did that happen? The same generation with the truth coming out. Hey, I was thinking about the other day too, like the whole women liberation thing. That happened around the same time, where the truth came out, and they got liberated. They was able to wild out, and within the same generation, now you got women saying, "Oh no, this ain't it." There's a couple kids later, but it's the same like 50, 60 years. Because you can do generations two different ways. So. Between that same 50, 60 years, now you're just like, I don't want to be independent no more. The Lord gave you this short period of time, and it was like, this is horrible. This ain't it.
Hey, but it's funny too. It's crazy how Shalomar, you mentioned something about TikTok. I noticed through the spirit when the first time I saw TikTok, I was like, wait, we definitely got to be at the end. It's like the Lord using that, the mockery, because you have TikTok, which is the sound the clock makes. That's like America, your time is up. Like TikTok, and then the moment you see America's time is up, all you see is just fuck shit. It's like, this is why America's gonna be destroyed, and it's all coming out within the past 2-3 years. You've seen the worst shit, and it's being put out through TikTok, man. So the Lord is just everything.
Remember that video you showed us? With, I think it was Moab, when they was running through bricks and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you see Moab doing that, running through bricks, bending steel like this with their necks. But here it is, you see men.
Oh my God. Yo.
Going like this, let me get this correct for y'all and all that.
Yeah, they're putting the filters on and all of that.
I got another precept. Nahum 3 verse 4. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mischief of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts, behold, I am against thee, saith Yahawah of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vow, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And that's what has happened through the internet, through TikTok, all these things. You're seeing what America really is all about, the mindset, the mentality of these people. And it's because of the witchcraft, because they fell for the sorcery, they fell for the enchantments that this place is built upon, the demons, the idols, the gods, as we said before, that this whole place is built on. And now the Lord is showing you this is what it produces. When you are into Bafi, when you're into all these gods, when you're into all these things, this is the type of people that you get. So now we're still proclaiming war. So now these are the people that got to go to war for you. These are the people that got to defend you.
As we're talking about it.
And well, those are the people that's going to be drawn into the wars.
Dragged.
They're going to be dragged into the wars. And they're like, help!
Gonna bring a gun in.
Yo, easy, man.
I'm saying, you know, the draft, if they do the draft, you know, like it's an age group they're going to target. And you know, that age group is the age group that's into all of this fuck shit. So that y'all gonna have to, like, because they said that they might get into where, like, if you don't want to join, before it used to be jail time. I don't know how true it is, I heard that it could be worse penalties now. You know what that could be? Take you out. And nobody hear from you again, type shit.
I mean, they might as well just throw your ass in there then, because
They might as well just kidnap you and just still put you there.
Well, I'm talking as far as you know, Esau's still trying to be the still, like, professional protocol the way about it. But, like, that's going to all go out the window, like y'all said, eventually.
I also remember, I don't know how many of y'all went to college, but I remember the selective service that when you go into thing, you have to take it. So they already have a list of people, so it's like, okay. And women, y'all more than us that went to college, so it's like, oh, we have a selection, y'all ladies, to go through. Come to war.
Yep.
they don't think it's possible.
Yes, I was equal.
And it's funny because women before couldn't go to combat. They couldn't they could be in the military, but they couldn't actually go. They had to be stateside, or they had to be like back to like be the nurses and stuff like that. But they wasn't allowed to actually go to combat. And they fought for all these things, right? Yeah, you fought for all these things you wanted. Well, this is what comes with it.
Yeah, it's like trying to be a man, but you don't want the responsibilities that comes as a man. It's like,
You pay child support and alimony. You want to go to war.
right, exactly. Yeah, you want to just sit home and do nothing. That's the duties of a woman. Stay home and do what needs to be done. But no, you want to be a man. But when it comes time to actually step into the roles of a man, all of a sudden, no, this ain't fair. You try to run away.
And a lot of men are also fed up with that. And not even in the truth, just men in general. They're fed up with women try to play that double standard role.
Right.
So you got a lot of men that's going to be like, nah, y'all go to war too. Y'all want this. Y'all coming also.
That's right.
They're like, nah, you got to bring her. Ain't no man be like, I'll go for her. Ain't no Captain Americas no more.
YouTube comments, men are saying that.
Yeah, yep. Like I said, it's not just men that's in the truth. It's just it's the vibration. It's the vibe of the world right now. And all the while, we're still proclaiming you still gotta go. Like you still gotta go. There is no escaping it. Because the Lord said what? Actually, you still got your well. You can keep reading it because He said multitudes. Bring them. The harvest is ripe. It's time. The Lord. When the harvest is ripe, you gotta hurry up and pick the fruit. You can't just keep leaving it there because when it ends up happening, it becomes a bad fruit.
Back in Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Hey, and they've been doing that, right? Because for a long period of history, it was all about agriculture. It was about trying to build up your economy through agricultural, economics. But as of late, I remember hearing it about like in the 90s. But I don't know if it started before that, but I know like in the 90s, you had the whole arms war, the arms race.
Yep.
You had a lot of countries that were like putting most of their economic, I guess their money into their military. that's how they were. That's what they were using all their funding for. Their GDPs was into getting a better, bigger, and more advanced technological military arsenal. For what purpose? So they all kept saying, "Oh, we're not doing this. We don't want to go to war. We don't want to. We trying to do peace." But you saying these things, but the actions are doing completely different. And it's ultimately, once again, because this is the Lord's movie. You got to proclaim this among the Gentiles, prepare war. So you're preparing war while saying that you don't want to go to war. Like even that you had the whole thing with Obama with the Iran, the peace treaty. That lasted literally his reign, and then they got thrown out the window. So like you thinking, oh, you know, that things gonna get better. You know, it's gonna be more peaceful amongst the Iran and America, and then maybe peace in the Middle East, X, Y, and Z. Literally that lasted for 3 or 4 years, and then Trump came and tore that shit up and then dipped. And then now hell breaking loose.
And Biden can't do shit.
He can't do it.
50 Cent went on Twitter, I think, and he said, yo, where your, he said something to Biden. He's like, yo, where your ass at or some shit like that. Yo,
because he was at the beach.
yeah, he was at the beach or something. He's like, yo, wake your ass up. Like, what the fuck? Like, nigga, all hell breaking loose or some shit. Like, we about to go to war. And he said, things are not okay. Where the fuck you at? Like, nigga, scriptures tell you, woe unto you that run to Egypt for help, bro. Like, this is the time where a lot of niggas are about to start waking up to the reality of, damn, this ain't good for us. It doesn't look like America cares about its people. We've been telling you that. We've been saying that. Since day one, we've been telling you, the prophet's been telling you, you're in a country that does not decide on you, on your behalf. Okay? Everything they plan, everything they do is against you. You just don't see it like that. But when the time comes, you're gonna be like, oh shit, but it's gonna be too late. Your oh shit moment means that what? The shit is actually hitting the fan. You don't get to see it, you get to be it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're in the point where it's like, damn, I'm looking for help. There's no help. You know what I'm saying? It's over. This is the end. This is the beginning of the end for a lot of people here in America.
Hey,
it's over.
The whole shit hitting the fan concept. We're in the room telling you, yo, shit is about to hit the fan. Like we outside the room. Like, yo. Shit about to hit the fan. Y'all get out. There's gonna be shit all over the place. Y'all gonna be all covered in shit. Yo, sorry. Y'all be all covered in feces. Dung, right? But they're not listening, right? But once it actually hits the fan, that's when you're gonna be like, oh shit. But it's already too late at that point. You all in it. You all in it. Keep going. Yeah, she going now. But it's all you all in it now. So like, oh shit. I was like, Dumb and Dumber 2. He was like, this shit all over the walls. that's what's going to be. Like everywhere you look, you just going to be in a bad case, in a pitiful case.
Hey, that's why Micah the 7th chapter, it says that they shall be what? Trodden underfoot, like as the mire of the streets. That's like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the video that we saw earlier. He's like, put it up. He's like, when the shit splash in your face, it's when you're about to say something. Some of it might get into your mouth, nigga. You know what I'm saying? All that shit talking that you do, all the shit going. The Lord gonna get you, man. What's that? Galatians 6 and 7. The Most High is not mocked. And a lot of people have been mocking the Lord and his prophets, man. And it's that time, bro. Trust me, you're gonna see some shit.
If I may, because back on this war stuff, because like when I saw that, I was like, oh, when they said they put a couple thousand Marines on the Israeli coast, that's not something that's like not something. That's not a joke. That's not like, oh, that's for no reason. Like, let's just do it. Just do it. They're doing it because they know something's about that. That's why he said prepare war. Tell them prepare war. When you prepping something, you're gonna cook it. He going to cook all these heathens. That's what, in that same chapter he said he's gonna judge all the heathens round about. In a great day when he visits. So I mean, that's
really the Most High's doing all this.
Right.
You know, you're talking about pray. That's the thing. A lot of people get wrong is they try to pray against the will of the Lord.
Right.
To the Lord. And that's why you said it falls on deaf ears. Because the Most High says, this is what I'm going to do. And you praying to the Lord, Lord, please, no, I need you to not do that. But that's not going to happen. That's why everything, so we never miss, we always hit because we're always going in the same direction as what the Lord is going in. Right. Exactly. We're going with the flow. We're telling you, nope, this is what's going to happen. Not because we're making it happen, because like you said, if we weren't here, it's still going to happen. The only difference is we're telling you before it happens, And that's a beautiful thing, because for the Lord to select you to say, look, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. What's the first thing a prophet does when they wake up to being a prophet? They get themselves right. And then they go out there and they do the work so that you can get right.
Said, Isaiah said, I'm of unclean lips. And then he purified his lips. And then he said, send me. Then he went to go, then he asked, like, what do you want me to say?
He's laying back off the brother's point. 1 Samuel 3:18. And Samuel told him every whit and hid nothing from him. And he said, it is Yahawah. Let him do what he seemeth good. So even then, Eli was going off, and the Lord sent Samuel to tell him, because his sons were going off and he wasn't corralling them in, you know, disciplining them. And even Eli, even though he was being wicked, even he had to admit, hey, let the Lord's will be done. What seemeth good unto him, he's going to do. You know?
So that's ultimately the Lord's will, like you were saying. That's why he's doing. See, one thing about the Most High is he takes his time. You know, the Most High doesn't rush to do anything. Even if he says he's going to do it quick, he doesn't rush to do anything. So to us, we feel like, Lord, I think in Luke it says that, right? Like, though he bear long with them, you know? Because the Most High says, look, from the beginning, I created this script. It's going to happen exactly this way. You know, you just got to just have a bit more patience, because I'm not going to rush. All right, I'm the one in control. So everything we're seeing now is the Most High saying, all right, now it's time to put this here. It's time to put that here. It's time for this to happen here. It's time for that to happen over here. Remember, the Most High is seeing the whole board. And he's controlling this side and that side. He's playing chess with himself. You know, we are on the board. So sometimes you may be looking over here, something happens, oh shit, MOTV, MOTV, sound the alarms, MOTV. And as you're doing it, oh, what's that? Oh shit, hey brother, sound that alarm. So that's why the Lord got us round about, right? If you read in Isaiah 62 and 6, he says, I set up watchmen upon thy walls. You're not gonna put all 50 watchmen in one direction facing right here. Right. That's the dumbest setup ever. You're gonna have watchmen round about the city. So one over here, one over there, one over there.
The reaches are closed.
There you go.
Cover the ground.
Cover the ground. So that's why, like, a brother may do a lesson on this, then another brother's doing a lesson on that. Then another brother's doing a lesson over here. Then some brothers are doing responses to that. You know, spreading it. So we're literally being watchmen.
I got a quick precept. 2nd Ezra 8, verse 61. It says, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not shown unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders, which thou wilt begin to do in the last times, but at what time thou hast not showed me. 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me, because it's a conversation. He answered me and said, then it said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's what we're doing. The watchmen are upon the walls, and we are measuring the times based off of the signs that the Lord told us. The same thing YAHAWASHI said. Everything I told you before, the Holy Spirit is going to bring it back to your remembrance. It's not just, it's been from the beginning. Remember, it said the holy prophets that have been from the beginning of the world. So these are the things that the Lord kept telling the prophets over and over. They kept, and eventually made the book of remembrance. The ones that spake often one to another and thought upon his name and feared, they made the book of remembrance. So you're going to always remember this. And a certain time is going to come at the latter end that this is when it's going to all connect all together. Because Ezra, he couldn't connect everything that happened. Like, he didn't see everything that John saw. John couldn't connect what we see right now. He wrote it, but he didn't know how to connect it. He didn't know what the MOTV actually was. But it was in the latter end where all the signs that the Lord created that for us to use as the way to go blow the trumpet, now it's all connected. Because this is the time where the Lord is visiting the earth, which he made.
Right. It's beautiful that you read it from the ending of the 8th to the beginning of the 9th, because he said that you've shown me the things that you're going to do at the end, but you didn't tell me when you're going to start doing these things. So the angel told him, well, measure the time diligent. When you see a part of the signs, you're going to know that that's the time when I'm going to start doing all these things. So when we started seeing a part of these signs, that's why we say, like YAHAWASHI said, this generation shall not pass till all be fulfilled. Because really, these major end time prophecies are all tied one to another. You know, they're like hooked to another. So one ain't gonna happen and then another one happen, like, you know, randomly at another. No. One is connected to each other. exactly. It comes all together. It's atomic. Exactly.
That's why even with Nebuchadnezzar's dream, the way it happened, the different empires, they all were connected. Like, even though it was one statue, but the head was connected to, which was Babylon, that was connected to the Persian and Medes. Persian and Medes, the head Babylon wasn't connected to the toes. Because it was going to be the Persians and Medes that were going to be the ones that took down Babylon, and then after Babylon, after the Persians and Medes, then you had the Greeks and so on and so forth. So, like I was saying, it's all connected. And now we're at the end of the 10, like we're at the 10 toes, so there's no more after this. This is the Lord said, in the days of these kings, I'm gonna set up a kingdom. We are in the days of the 10 toes kingdom. Remember, when did NATO actually become a nation? I mean, not a nation, became the organization. I think it's like in the 40s, right? That's not that long ago. That happened after the second World War, right? So that wasn't that long. You still got people that was alive during the time of the creation of the beast. And the Lord said, in the days of these kings, that's when I'm going to set up the kingdom. But first, what I got to do, I got to bring my prophets. I got to bring them out at the latter end to prophesy about the downfall of this kingdom.
It was a year after the 1948 went to the land, so it's 1949.
It's all connected.
If I might say, it's funny you said that the NATO, because I was looking at something, because they mentioned the UN peacekeeper or something.
Yeah.
And they was like, with all the stuff going on right now, and Hamas and all that, they was like, they went to them and basically they haven't come up with like a solution or whatever suggested for them to do. And I looked up when that was established. That was established in 1945. So it's funny how a lot of things in this setup is like revolved around either a little before or after them 48ers got into that land. And that's only 75 years ago, so do the math. But that's why the Lord said the wicked reigned for a short time. That everybody was a short time. I mean, not Esau's kingdom, but like this chain of his kingdom, like this last end of his kingdom was short.
The last leg of
the last leg. Yeah, the last leg, exactly.
You got some more?
Yep. Back in Joel 3 and verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
So right now, what do you think these nations are investing in? You know, you think they're making deals with each other so they can build bigger agricultural fields, you know, and build greenhouses? No. Okay. Farming secrets. No. All right. They're worried about defense missiles. You know, they're worried about offense. What the hell is the U.S. doing over there? I did a lesson on this. I said these people are hilarious. They said everybody else stay out. Ain't nobody joining here. Y'all can't join in here. Leave it. Right? Let us be between Amalek and Hamas, but we gonna join Amalek. As a matter of fact, we going over there to go set up a CENTCOM and these THAAD missile systems over there. But nobody else can join. But we gonna come in and we gonna help Amalek. What kind of shit? What you think these other nations looking at the U.S. like? Like this nigga, right?
Audacity.
The audacity, right? That's what they doing over there. So they're not investing in home life, materials. They're investing in warlike materials because we're in a time of war. What's that? Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time.
Yeah, the time, please. Yeah.
Right now, we're in the time of war, and after the time of war, it's going to come the time of peace. But remember that everything is a balance, right? Like King David's rulership and then King Solomon's rulership. So the peace that's coming is going to be an eternal peace, which means that, which we have never seen the likes thereof. So the destruction prior to that has to be an eternal, well, not eternal, but a very devastating destruction that we haven't seen the likes thereof. It tells you that Joel, the 2nd chapter, that the like of these missiles, there's not going to be any like this after it's used. Okay, so this is going to be the heaviest destruction there's ever been, prior to the heaviest, form of peace that there's ever been. It's all a balance.
You have the actual most destructive type of weapon on the earth right now. Yep. And it's spiritual because the Lord had what came out over the summer, Oppenheimer. And they showed that part where it says, nah, if I become deaf. So the Lord is like telegraphed it, like, oh yeah, as soon as that happened, then a couple months, 2 months later, then you have the whole, this whole war broke out and nuclear talk is now being spoken of. Right. And what was Oppenheimer? He was a 48er. So it's literally, the end is literally coming through you. And the Lord, like I said, the Lord's so bad, like this is his actual whole movie, but he put in the spirit of Esau to create a movie, because that's how Esau tries to play God. So he created a movie to show what the actual end Because remember, the Lord said, I created the smith that blew up the trump, the coals, right? So he made Esau create this movie to show this is what's going to be the actual the weapon used to bring your end. I gave you the sword, and this is the sword that you're going to actually destroy your whole self with.
Destroy yourself.
This and ultimately all this stuff ends with this. There's the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble."
If you think about a day that comes that burns like an oven, you had a lot of wars in the world, right? I think that Isaiah 9 and 6, 9 and 5, but you never had a war that involved nuclear, atomic bombs dropping simultaneously everywhere. Like, that's an actual day that is going to literally be hot as hell. And I was talking to the brother too. I was like, y'all remember when like the wildfires happened in the West Coast? Did I mention that to y'all too? And then the smoke came all the way over here. You was able to see it? That was just from forest fires, right? The scripture says that the day of the Lord is dark. So if you got nukes dropping everywhere, they're literally the smoke from it can block out the sun everywhere on the earth. And you just have YAHAWASHI appear, brightness. That's why he said it, because I think you mentioned before, if everywhere is dark and there's a light, everybody can see it. That's YAHAWASHI. That's why all eyes shall see me. I'm gonna make this whole place dark. I'm gonna make this whole place dark, and I'm gonna come back. Light, bright. What is that? Beat him up, y'all. The indignation. Arise from let the indignation pass for a little moment.
Let's go.
Everybody sees me. I'm him.
That's it. That's it.
Everybody's gonna see that.
Let's go. Yep.
I come from the east. They gonna see him travel. You gonna come from the east. Who is this that coming from Basra? Oh!
Right.
That's what it is. That's the day of the Lord.
Right.
That's what it is, man. That's the whole world. That's what it said. All eyes shall see him. All nations shall melt because of him. Their heart, they're going, well, because what is this? It's dark. Everybody not gonna die. Babylon is gonna be hit. Everybody, but they gonna see him. This is the coming of the Messiah, the coming of YAHAWASHI.
And what comes from that, the kings of the earth shall shut their mouths. Everybody gonna shut up.
Yeah.
And you know it has to be great and marvelous, because it's something that even people in the world use as a term, like, oh, calm down, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Well, this is the end of the world. You know, oh, calm down, this is not the second coming. You're acting like, oh, he's like the second coming. Like, it's a thing, like people, even in sports.
Real bad.
Yeah, like, oh, he's like the second coming of blah, blah. Well, the second coming is YAHAWASHI. He's coming back. You know, like I always say, Deus ex machina. He's that unstoppable, immovable machine that just pops in the middle of the scene and says, we're changing the whole course of nature now. We're changing the whole course of history because of that one man. That one man that the whole world, society runs based on him. Time is calculated based on him. That one man, his return is nigh.
But what did it say? Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. People always say that, because when they say, oh, the second coming of Christ, right? They got the Lord, they don't know what they're talking about. They're coming from the scriptures, but they don't know what they're actually talking about. Oh, I just want to make it to see my Savior. Like, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Like, you really about to see what's about to happen when YAHAWASHI returns, man. You got it?
Yeah, I believe this backs it up. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Yeah, this is Psalm chapter 18. Oh,
I'll just read verse 31. 31 says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect.
So you gotta think about it. It's gonna be dark, and then you're gonna hear a sound like a trumpet sound. Lord willing, we get beamed up. We know what that sound is for. But that's gonna be like a still. You hear a big trumpet blown
Out of nowhere?
out of nowhere, and it's gonna be like the whole earth is gonna hear it. Remember, it says it's gonna be a great quake too. And he like how it's gonna sound.
Damn.
You don't hear that,
Oh,
like, oh!
shit,
And it's just
it's
dark though. Remember, it's the clouds. It said it ain't gonna give its light. So it just dark. You hear that, boom. Oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. That's it. We gotta get taken up. Like, but you're gonna send his angels to gather up his elect. But everybody else is gonna have to feel the wrath. Not everybody's gonna die, but everybody's gonna be the people that don't die. That's gonna be like like I would say, that's gonna be in your DNA. That's like a DNA change.
Yeah.
That's shell shock for eternity. Like you're gonna have children. You have to tell your children like, yo, this is what happened. Like this day of the Lord happened, and this is in everybody's mind forever.
And that's why it says forever. When America's burning, it's going to be forever because it's forever in terms of a very long time. But the history, the thought of, damn, this
It's
one
gonna live
happened,
on.
it's going to live on forever.
Memoir,
Yeah,
memoirs.
yeah. Because if we're still talking about Egypt now, and the Lord said this destruction and salvation is going to be greater than what happened in Egypt, then we're going to be talking about this forever and ever. Because it's that time is the beginning of the rulership of the beginning of the rulership of the Israelites, YAHAWASHI and the Israelites. So it's going to be spoken of forever. When did this happen? It's
Right.
when America got destroyed.
When did God start to live among us? How did that happen?
Like in Genesis.
Yeah. Like when did the gods start to live? Oh, the gods. You know, they even Greek mythology.
Right.
Oh, what you ask the gods? Like
Pantheon.
that's literally gonna be us.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, go pray to the gods. Maybe they will do this.
You can have reigns with that.
Oh, shit.
I was gonna say because when Yahawashai returned in the churches, my bad. In the churches, like they don't really talk about the extent of like, damn, what is the Lord gonna be when He comes back? All the stuff the brother was saying, we talk about the great day. Remember, the Lord said He's mad. He's not coming just to show His power. He's showing to show His power in judgment and wrath.
Show His power off.
Yeah, show His power off in the judgment and wrath of His anger. And remember, that's coming straight from the Father. Because the Yahawashai is an express image of Yahweh. That's it. And He said he's waiting to come back. He's waiting. Like, you know, like the cat, like waiting to get busy. Like, you know, like them goons, and he waiting, like he a righteous goon, waiting to get busy for his Father. Anybody the first only begotten spirit, he's ready for action. He's already a devouring fire. So think about that.
Oh, and part of the reason why he's angry, I know the brother at the priest said, remember, he also got killed. Like, he got murdered.
And beat before.
He got murdered by Edomites. Like he never got that off.
never
That's
got
why
touched.
you never got touched. Remember, going back to Cain, he killed Abel. Going back to Adam, he's the one that got Eve.
Yup.
Got Eve all fucked up from the beginning where he lost immortality.
Got mad smoke for
He ain't never get to touch, even as Solomon, he didn't even get to touch Esau because he was in peace. So he been saving wrath for you. That's what he's like, who is this that coming from Esau? I mean,
first
Edom.
one he came for.
I tried in the wine press alone. There was none with me. Like, yo, I got smoke from you from the beginning. From the beginning, my nigga.
That's right. That's crazy.
I shall stain all my raiment. We talking about the greatest Jake. You know when Jake get mad, they always say, oh, angry black man. We talking about the greatest Israelite man
Ever.
that you done.
He beat, he deceived you. Oh.
Remember, he got beat when he had no sin. So he actually got killed, beat, ridiculed, mocked. And he was perfect. He's like, yo, I came in a perfect body. I came and committed no sin. And you did this to me? And he had to take it without saying nothing, too.
Sound like Denzel from Training Day. You gonna do
You
this
gonna
to
do
me?
this to me? Yeah, God.
Sound you said.
Yeah, got a good point already moved on.
Nah, bring it up.
Yeah, this is Psalm chapter 18, starting from verse 9. It says, He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. So pretty much what the elders were saying, you know. And verse 12 says, At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. Right. So like the light from the chariot, the laser from the chariot, the beaming up of the elect. You know. Pretty much.
And all that.
You know.
I think that in Revelation, hide us from him that sitteth upon the throne and the face and the wrath of the Lamb. Like It's funny because you call him a lamb. We know why he's a lamb, but like, he ain't coming back as a lamb. That's why I shall not meet thee as a man.
Right.
But as he said to the disciples, the same way you saw me leave, the same way I'm coming back.
Descendant.
Like, you gonna know all eyes shall see me, even them that pierced me. And you gonna know who I am. Like, you gonna know, like, I'm the one y'all like, you kill me. Like, this is the, like, you know, like, when somebody's essence, like, yo, like, yeah, that's his vibe. That's his vibration of this brother, this man. You gonna know that same man that you did what you did over 2,000 years ago, he's back on the earth now, but he completely glorified now. And you gotta deal with that. Shit.
When you just said that, it just hit me in the head. Like, Yahawashi's image is not something that's never been seen before on this earth. Like, the being that's coming back to this earth is not something that we see as an ordinary thing here. Neither has man ever seen before. This is not a regular human being coming back. He's coming back. That's why the Apostle John said,
He ain't even human.
Was
God.
that?
I said, he ain't even human. He's
He
a
ain't
God.
exactly, because he was already in his glorified state. When John saw him in the book of Revelation, he was already in his glorified state. That's why the Apostle Paul said that he's going to come back, he said, with power and with great glory. You don't get that as a regular person. There ain't no regular human being on this earth coming out with power and great glory. You got to be in a different element. And that's why the Apostle John also saw that he said that we don't know what he's going to look like, but we know we're going to be like him when he makes his return. That in and of itself alone is something to, this is just the grandeur, the power, the essence, the overwhelming, glory. Like, who is this? Like, like, what is this? Hey, quick one. I'm gonna finish off in Malachi. Yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to you real quick. So going back to Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1, it says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day," it says, "and the day that and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahawah of hosts, that it may leave them neither root nor branch." That's a complete and total annihilation. There's nothing left. Like Ezra, what he saw, he said when he saw it, he perceived was what? Smoke and what?
Dust and smell of smoke.
What's that?
Dust and smell of smoke.
Dust and smell of smoke. And when he saw it, what did he do? He was afraid. Okay, he was afraid. What's gonna happen to this earth? The interaction between this power coming down and the people of this earth going up there, getting blasted, coming back down, and seeing the events, it's just scary. Okay, real quick.
Wait in the second Ezra too. I'll let you finish. They said that they still want to try to fight him.
They were afraid, yes,
While everything is still in that chaotic state of darkness, they still gonna try to. So you imagine you see just smoke and just a bright entity that's not, like you said, it's not human.
Yeah.
I mean, he's human, but he ain't man like regular mortal man. It's like, yo, you gotta go try to fight that.
He's immortalized. He's not. Yeah, like.
If I'm not mistaken, it said that he didn't lift up no sword or nothing, and just the fire came out his eyes or his mouth.
Straight from his chariot.
Yeah.
That's like the movie scenes where like the plane flies into that dark ass cloud, and all you see is the turbulence and shit, and then all of a sudden something just boom, just snatches that shit in half.
Yep.
That's how they're gonna see them angels. They're gonna be getting down on them too. Imagine that. So many chariots. I mean, there's gonna be so many chariots filling up the skies all over the world. Boom, boom, boom. Because remember, imagine how big the world army is gonna be, because that's what the angels are gonna fight against. It's not just gonna be Russian army, the U.S. army. It's gonna be the world army.
China got 1 million.
Yeah.
A billion.
So that's why the Lord is coming with thousands of heavens.
Armies of heaven.
Yeah. That's going. Damn.
Michael and the angels about to get him up out of there.
In Hebrews, it said innumerable angels. Like innumerable angels. I think that was in Hebrews. It said it's an innumerable company of angels.
Yeah. So that's what the Lord is coming with. Can you actually imagine what that? So that's really the real war of Armageddon. Because the armies of the world is a lot. You want to talk about innumerable? That is a lot of people. So imagine the heavenly host. You're gonna have the beams in the angels in the heavens, the armies on here, the fighter jets, all their projectiles they can possibly think of. They are hypersonic missiles, the Satan missiles, all of them things. And there's already footage of chariots up in the air where they shot missiles at it, and it was like dripping like this molten thing, and then they just boom. like a scene out of an
They're
anime.
on top of a mountain or something.
Yeah, just hanging like four of them, just up in the air. And they shot the rockets at it, and the smoke cleared, and the chariots were just still there, unfazed. You know?
And you know what's so great about the Lord? Because Esau, like, he does, you have, like, you can see Russians, their fighter jets, right? Like, you can see what they look like, how the designs are, like China's or whatever. The Lord shows the chariots, but he don't show them all the time to like in their fullness greatness. And you know that there's obviously multiple different types of chariots. You got the silos ones, you got the round ones, you got the triangular ones, but you got other ones that you probably ain't even ever seen before. The Lord not going to show you his arsenal, all of it. Yeah. Like, you ain't going to see, when you see YAHAWASHI chariot, that's the end of it. Like, that's it. Yeah.
That's why Ezra said he saw a great mountain.
That's right, I got it right here.
Oh, you got it. There you go.
Second Esdras, I'm going to read that, but I'm going to jump. Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 1, it says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire." Going back to Malachi 4, the day that burned like an oven. It says, "And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea." So it says from the four winds. So they're going to come from every part of the earth. It's not going to, just like how the brother said, it's not going to come just from like Russia. They're going to come from every angle. Remember, South America, they got militaries as well. America's going to be done, but America's already moving all of their military to the Middle East. You got still some stateside, but a lot of their stuff is other places. They got them in the East Sea where China's at. They got bases They got bases everywhere else. So although America land might be done, you're still gonna have American armies elsewhere.
Thinking they happy to escape.
I want to jump now down to verse 27. It says, "And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor instrument of war, but that with the rushing,"
Russia?
Where is it? Verse 29. It says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth." Any brother can break it down. "And shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another."
So pretty much, just like we've been saying, this is pretty much going to be war on every front, you know. But the key part right there is one realm against another, because the one main realm is going to be the heavenly realm versus this terrestrial realm. That's not even going to be a war. That's why it says Ezra saw the missiles, them lasers come down, and then there was nothing there, just like that, you know. So that's not the YAHAWASHI is coming. This war is going to happen for the story's sake. But it's not really going to be a war. It's really going to be a show-off of the Lord's power. Yeah.
When you think about what he did with Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
He allowed Pharaoh to be able to do certain things, like then he's changed his snake to. But it got to a point. I forgot exactly which plague it was, to where
The sun, right?
Huh?
Was it the sun or was it before that?
Nah, there was something else.
Was it the boil? Where they was like, "Yo, we can't fuck with this. Like, what we got, hey, we can't do nothing with that." And then the Lord didn't just let him off of that. He was like, "I got more. I got more."
That's right.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring my death angel. And then I'm gonna bring my son. Because Wisdom of Solomon said the Almighty Word leaped off the throne.
Yep.
And he came and did what he did. And that wasn't even the grand finale. But look how devastating it said. There's not one house, there was not a cry in Egypt. And it was darkness that was happening also. The Lord brought that. So, hey, the Lord, it's funny because he says the Lord is light, but he's surrounded by darkness because he is the light.
Right.
So you don't need light when you're the Lord. I'm the light.
Right.
I'm just make everything dark, and then you gonna see me.
That's how. That's how.
He do anything he wants.
Well, like, yo, just imagine, like, you Like Yahweh just was. Like that's why I am. Like yo, it's just him. He.
And that's why he made his son.
Yo,
To be what?
I can't-
He said he's the express image.
Yes.
Like this is.
And he made him.
This is me if you could see me. This is me if you could see me. But you can't see me. But this is me if you could see me.
Ooh.
That don't even make any sense.
Man, bro, it's crazy, yo.
It's mind blowing. Where is it at? Verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I shewed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men. Who's that? That's the elect.
Yep.
Zion's going to be shown. The elective, they're going to be shown. Was that the second chapter?
Revelation 21.
Yep. That's when all men are going to see who is Zion, who is my memorial.
Yep.
That's what Zion means.
Oh,
Zion,
wisdom
my
of Solomon,
memorial.
5th chapter.
Yep. You know. So the whole earth is going to see. Right now, you see people passing, they don't see sign being shown.
Right.
They just see a bunch of niggas on the corner just talking. But the Lord said, in every land that you've been put to shame, I'm going to give you faith. For doing what? For declaring my name. Who stands so stiffly for the men that profess. That's how the whole earth is going to see. These are the sons of God. These are my people. It says, verse 6. It says, and signs shall become and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest, and lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me.
But you were going into that, right? Because it says that ultimately he's going to, because it says that, what is this? Who is this that yeah, and then I think his reply was, I that make, yeah, and then one about something in righteousness. There you go. And there's one that says he make war in righteousness, you know?
That's it, Revelation 19.
That's right. That's why he says he's going to punish their wicked inventions, because he's going to use that fire as a destruction, but he's really coming to make righteous war, you know, because this war is going to be one to set things right, because this is a wicked society. So when he brings that destruction, it's going to punish them for all the wickedness that they have committed. Because really, they've broken all the laws.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep.
All right, appreciate it.
No, go ahead.
Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
The thing is all going to happen in a day. Like the missiles flying and the Lord's return and our deliverance is all going to happen in one day. Just like that. Boy, that would be a crazy ass day.
Because what does he do? He makes us remember days, right?
Yeah.
We got to remember, never forget 911. All the cost that was hollow. Yeah, hollow. Huh?
Yeah.
Titanic. Like Independence Day.
Yep.
We got to remember all these days that really are just for you and your glory. So the Lord He gonna do away with all of that in one day. That's gonna be it's gonna be forgotten. You're not gonna, even where the scripture talks about it shall no more be said that the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Like, we're not gonna forget it, but it's gonna be so, that deliverance is gonna be so minute compared to what the Lord does out of this place. Because that day is gonna be where He is declared. That's why I said, then shall my son be declared. Yahawashai wasn't declared during the time of Egypt. He was there, but he wasn't declared as like, oh,
Right.
Yahawashai, the Son of God, the Messiah, this is my kingdom. Like, he's coming to declare his throne, to take his throne. And he's gonna do that in a very dramatic fashion. Because remember, everything belongs to him. The animals gonna get it. Like, that's gonna be in there. Like, that day he ain't gonna forget that either.
And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light, The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
Yeah. So nothing is going to happen in its ordinary way. Because what's the sun? Sun gives us light. But when the day of the Lord comes, everything is going to be halted. You know, to make way for His presence. Let it be known that this is the day that the Lord came back and visited the earth. You know, the day that the Lord visited the earth. I mean, can you believe that? Shit.
Yeah, he visited. He stayed.
Yeah, he stayed. He leaving and took over.
Yeah, he leaving again. The day the earth stood still. Like, this is the day that this is the day that the Lord has made. We say in church, let us rejoice and be glad in it. But y'all ain't gonna be glad in this one. Nah, only reason why we're gonna be glad, we're gonna be scared as well. But that's why the Lord gonna have to change us quick in the twinkling of an eye, because we was able to actually stay seeing that in this flesh. We'll be done too. Like, let me grab you up real quick. Let me change you.
I'm about to get nasty.
So I'm about to get mad. Yeah. You got to give us a whole body to actually be able to endure seeing that. Being on the stuff and staying on the glass, being able to see that. Like, yo, I got to change you about this so you can see what I'm about to do.
Yeah, that's going to be the final piece in the third temple of the building of it. That's going to be the completion when He changes our bodies. Because at that point, we're going to have the laws and everything in our inward parts. You know, we're going to be perfect.
And that's the final witnessing. Because the scripture says that you are my witnesses. That's what prophets are. Like, we're testifying. I, John, testified these things. That's going to be the final witness of the end of this age. We got to witness YAHAWASHI get down and not be partakers of it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if brother saw it. In December, there's a Netflix movie coming out, apocalyptic movie called "Leave the World Behind." And in the trailer, it's Ethan Hawke and another Edomite woman. They get knock on the door, and the people that come deliver the message that the world is ending is Jake. That's really spiritual.
I think I've seen that.
Oh shit! They just put it out there. It's like, shit. All right, well, let's go.
If I may, I was thinking real quick that the day of the Lord, when they fighting all that, and then Yahawashi and all that returns, you gotta think about what the fuck is gonna be said by these soldiers and these mighty men. You understand what they're gonna see? This is something that nobody's seen before. And they remember, they could be cats that wasn't really trained in war and all that. They just joined the military just to, you know what I'm saying, or they were drafted. Like when the Lord comes back, they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is that? They're gonna remember, it's gonna be a sound. You're gonna see sights. It's gonna be remember, everybody's gonna tremble. Everybody's gonna tremble. They said they're gonna run to the dens and they're gonna run. I mean, all that. What do you think the day of the Lord? It said it's gonna be scary. It's terrible, gloomy, distress.
The damn thick clouds.
Yeah.
Like thick. Once again, the cloud. If you have a thick cloud, it can make like right now.
Yeah.
Like the sun is out, but it blocks it, and it got a little bit dimmer.
Yeah.
That's not even a thick cloud. Like but look what it did.
I was gonna say, we saw with the clouds one from Canada.
Oh yeah, but it changed the color like the smoke.
Oh, it turned like
Even
orange.
before it rains, you see when the clouds get
It gets real
dark,
dark.
everything dark.
It
Exactly.
gets real. Yeah, but those. I don't know what kind of clouds are those. I forgot the names of those. Stratus, I forgot what it is. But it gets really dark when it's like really about to be a real downpour.
Right. Precipitation build.
And that's not cloud from, because smoke cloud, like clouds from smoke, like fire,
Furnaces.
is very thick.
Yeah.
That's like that's why the Lord said, like, yo, like smoke came down when you came down from it's like I'm just a fire. So it's like everything gotta feel this, like you wanna be smoke involved. It's going, I'm a consuming fire.
Top of the mountain.
That's scary, man.
And you know it's crazy too, because like when you look at the clouds sometimes dissipate. Smoke is like, you could run through smoke and it'll still just join right back. It's like, it takes a lot more. What's going on? You know, when you go through smoke, you can run through smoke and it's still there. Sometimes you can smell like smoke if you're in there for too long. You know, but that goes to show you how thick the smoke is.
Suffocate you.
It can suffocate you, right? So imagine how toxic the Western world will be.
So call the Lord toxic.
Yeah. But Most High is super toxic, really. You know what I'm saying? To the wicked, yeah. You know, he can't be known as the Most High if he's not on the spectrum of toxic. He ain't all the way up there. You know what I'm saying? But the concept of toxic comes from the Heavenly Father. All right, and America is going to feel that, because that's been the theme. Most Americans are toxic, so it's going to be something that's going to have to, you know, bring that toxicity out of your ass. It has to be something else that's way more toxic than you. You know, to show you that you ain't nowhere. Exactly, that fire. That's that purging. you know, that besom of destruction.
Burn the bitch out.
That's it. You know, refinery, exactly.
One more verse. Isaiah 13:11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity.
So nobody can complain because it's a punishment. Right. Lord ain't just get up and say, I'm just doing this for fun. Do it for fun. Nah, it's a punishment for their evil and their iniquity. See, and that's why we waiting for the Lord to fulfill these prophecies, man. I'm gonna just put it like that because you're doing wickedness. Everything here is wickedness. That's why we're constantly complaining. And then when the Lord brings judgment, you're crying as though like, oh, the worst thing is happening in the world. The worst thing that was happening was the wickedness you were doing. The Lord is bringing the cure.
It's just a paycheck for your work you've done. That's it. You gotta get paid. You know what I'm saying? Nobody works for free.
We're the union. We're advocating for
Yeah, we're advocating, bro. Like you gotta get paid for all the work you've done on this earth. You saw? You know what I'm saying? So now the Lord's gonna give you that payment. It's gonna be a nice little severance package.
Treatment.
Real nice.
Yeah, everybody gonna get it.
Yeah, you've been fired from your post. You're not the king no more. You know, the Lord comes back, YAHAWASHI comes back, he's looking at the earth, he's like, what the fuck is this? And then he lets off that roar.
Oh man.
You know? And he's like, okay, now we gotta take these niggas out, imprison them, get them up out of here. They done destroyed my whole entire work that I did. You know? Get them up out of there. You know? And now you gotta get paid, your severance package. You gotta go. You know?
Hey, YAHAWASHI gonna have a nice dose of death for him, man. You know, he's gonna have a dose of death, and that's gonna be your prescription. That's gonna be the cure for wickedness. Take this dose of death and call me in the morning. Yeah, be in slavery at that point.
Hey, even I think in Matthew 25th chapter, I'm reading it, Matthew 25 verse 41, it says, then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. So we talking about preparation, prepare war. Well, this day was prepared for the devil and his angels. Who was the devil? Who was the old serpent? Once again, going back from Adam, like the Lord been waited to have this smoke. Sit down on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. Who was the number one enemy? It's been you demons, it's been you devils, you Edomites. And then you got all the earth drunk, even some of our people. You made even Israel enemies to the Most High. With your sorcery, with your fornication. You got drunken to the point where the Lord brought out all of the prophets, but our people are just so defiled by the wickedness and the sorcery, the witchcraft that you done put out. Like they can't hear it. They can't get sober up. You got them too drunk. To the point where now they're enemies of the Lord, so they gotta feel the fire that's prepared for you. This day is prepared for you. That's why it started, Malachi, he said Esau is not Esau, Jacob, but I hated Esau and I love Jacob. And then he goes down to the fourth, that's the first chapter, the second and third verse, I believe. The fourth verse, it said the day that shall come that's burned as an oven. It's still talking about the same day, going back to the fourth chapter, yep. It's talking about the same, that day is going to be because of what? The border of wickedness, whom the Lord said he has indignation forever against. Now he's about to manifest this day that has been prepared for you.
The Lord doesn't forget.
Hey, ultimately he said what? That because of the violence against that brother Jacob. You see what I'm saying? So there's got to be, who's Jacob?
You was violent against YAHAWASHI.
Yo, shit.
The ultimate shit.
And remember the discussion we had that they put an innocent life to death.
Right.
According to the law, you can't do that. So you effed up big doing that. He was a man without sin, and you put him to death. What was the cause for him being put to death? What sin did he commit to have a judgment worthy of death like that?
And I think there's a scripture, I can't remember, where the Jews were saying like, oh, we can't put him to death. Like you gotta give the order. You gotta give the order to do it. And that's when you saw the Pontius. I find no fault with him, but you still did it.
It threatened him.
Yeah.
Pontius, it's even worse.
Right. Yeah.
No longer gonna be afraid of
That's
Caesar.
crazy. How you going to threaten the devil? How did the devil saw the Lord as innocent, and you threaten the devil to put the Lord to death? That's why it says they're more wicked than the wicked. Damn. And you knew the law, that you weren't supposed to put somebody that was innocent to death. And even the devil who ain't know your laws, because them Romans, they ain't know our laws.
Right.
You know, they
They
weren't
said
witness
that.
at
Am I a
that.
Jew? Like,
Right,
I
right.
don't know y'all stuff, y'all customs and all that.
But
It's
just
a
the
Jewish
Jews
matter.
didn't have the power to instill capital punishment like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's why they have to go through the Romans. It's like today, you can't. I mean, like for example, you could bring judgment on a brother, say, hey, you kicked out or you this or that, but you can't bring the judgment in the scriptures upon somebody over here today.
Right, right,
Because guess what's gonna happen to your ass? You're gonna be under the jail.
Yahawashi not going to save you. You lose your wisdom.
Right. So like they need to go to the court system. If somebody committed murder,
Right.
to have them deal with
Same
that
thing.
there. Yeah, same thing today.
And that's what they did. So you killed Yahawashi. The violence against thy brother Jacob. I mean, it started with, it's a whole nation, but it starts with Yahawashi.
First.
Yeah, adding to the elder's point, everything now is about faith. Like in these last days, it's more faith-based. Back then, it was like judgment could be brought forth, and now we have to just wait and be patient on the Lord. Like Brother Haran had just said, if you try to take it into your own hands, the Lord is gonna punish you because you're not having the faith to know that He's gonna be the one to bring it. You're not waiting.
And that's you taking the vengeance from Yahawah Shai. That vengeance belongs to. Out of all of the anger that we got is not comparable to what Yahawah Shai felt. Yeah. All the stuff all the things that we did, that we went through, is not comparable to what Yahawah Shai went through. So he got the most anger.
Right.
He got the most, and he has the most reason. Like none of us can say like, yo, I ain't deserve that.
Right.
None of us can say that.
Right.
There's no flesh on the earth right now that I did not deserve that. And when you feel like you got something that you didn't deserve, you not letting that go. Like, it's a very hard feeling to let that go. Like, I know I didn't do that shit. But Yahawah Shai literally can say that. And he still got it.
The worst.
The worst. Like, you gotta get paid back for that.
And the whole thing, and if I made the whole thing about the scriptures being true, how Pontius Pilate said that was him, his own tongue speaking against him. Because you said you didn't find no fault in him. You technically should have been like, oh well, I can't put him to death.
He said that. He said, I
Right,
got
he
the
said
power
can't.
to
Yeah,
save you,
yeah.
or
He
to
still did it
deliver
type
you,
shit, yeah.
deliver you, or to put you to death.
But I said the decision he was supposed to make was not to do it.
So you can't do shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's why
Yeah, you
Yahawashi told him. He
told
said,
Yeah,
the power
yeah.
isn't from you, it's the
Yeah.
Heavenly Father.
It's got to go down like this. Yeah, it's the
Oh,
story.
that's why he said, they that delivered me did the greater sin.
Yeah.
They the one that sinned
They
against
knew it
him.
was sin. Oh, he doesn't know to do good and do it for nothing. So he was the high priest. The freaking high priest. And they knew they were going off because they had to hire and set up certain people to be false witnesses.
Yeah.
That's heavy,
to
man.
bring guilt upon the man's name, which they knew he was innocent, but they still conjured up and conspired against him.
They killed the true high priest.
Yeah.
If I may, I got a precept. I don't know, brother. Read something. All right.
I
So,
had 12.
oh my bad. All right. So, this
You go back to Joel.
Hebrews chapter 12. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Look unto Yahawashi, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh." Now this is talking about the
So Yahawah Shai was waiting for a joy, because he said for the joy
Yeah,
that was
that's
set
in front of
before
him.
him.
Yeah.
What was that joy? That was what was that Psalms 2 and 8, asking me I should give the heathen for thy possession. This earth was created for Yahawah Shai and the rest of and his seed, really, because that's what we are. It was created for Yahawah Shai and his seed to rule and have righteous and have authority. Just like any father, you got if your father, that's so. Yo, that just made me go like, your father is the king of is the creator of everything. Like,
you're the first thing he
yo,
created.
relax. Yo, your father is the creator of everything. Of all
That's
things.
crazy. That's crazy.
Rome is a nest of movement right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My name.
Oh,
What?
wow.
What?
Now let's just talk about the taking punishment, the C word,
Chastisement?
chastisement. Yep, that's what this is talking about. And you talk about how we deserve the stuff that could happen to us. So verse 3 says, "For consider him that endureth such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds." Verse 4, "Ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speak unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the Lord, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Now, when I read that one time, I was feeling the type of way, like, just like just vexation, like that actually could put you at a level to like, yo, tone it down, shut up, and just remember this. That's why he said, remember him. He's the one waiting with all the power. We have no power. He's waiting. He's the most angry. He's the one that didn't do anything, and we have to wait on him, no matter how long it seems. It said, though it tarry, wait for it. And as you can see the signs, now the Lord is not, because like, I got a thing now where I'll be having a bad day, I just go to the Times of Israel or RT Today, see what's the latest news. Like, oh, okay, that's bringing me back. All right, bet. Because now this is ongoing. It's not like a little skirmish, like, all right, now this is ongoing. This thing with the Israel Hamas, and now you got all these other parties getting involved, this is going to be ongoing. So like, don't think like just gonna like, people still planning like, I'm gonna do this and this, that. Like, yo, you understand, like, it could be missiles flying over here soon. Like this, any day. All we need is the MOTB, the Jacob Trouble, and a couple more other things to get really kicking. We almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
That's exciting to hear.
And the MOTB is not something that's going to be like a new way of life forever, like for months on end.
Yep.
Like, he can't fill his belly. That's he gonna fill his belly.
That's why he said like there'll be no flesh state.
Yeah.
Like we literally, unless the Lord gives every single Israelite man a spiritual power, like we wouldn't actually be able to sustain for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That's why YAHAWASHI said, if you hadn't shown the day, they shall know like we said. So
the days is flying too.
Oh,
we're almost there, man. I mean,
did I say that?
October,
end of October.
Yeah, already.
End of the
I was gonna say that really the wait is before it comes out. The wait is before the actual prophecy comes out. But once it's here, that we're here. Every single day we wake up, you can rejoice in the fact that it's out. You know what I mean? Like, all we're waiting for now is just the missile supply and we're gone. Like, we don't need to wait for this to now happen. We're here.
I think we talked about this last time where, through the Spirit, I was thinking that once they make that MOTB mandatory, that's when you're going to see all hell breaking loose, because it's more of a reaction that people are going to have. It's like all of a sudden you wake up and your bank is saying one thing, your job is saying another, you're not allowed to go somewhere. It's like all of a sudden, what the hell is going on? People are going to remember, you own nothing and you be happy. That MOTD being put in place, you have to own nothing in order for them to actually get you in there. So your food, your access to anything is taken away. The natural reaction is bug the fuck out. And these people here are conditioned to bug the fuck out when they don't get what they want. It's like spoiled brats. A whole bunch of kids that have been handed everything. iPhone, I this, I that, I this. So everything is given to you easily. Most Americans don't know how to live life without electricity for 24 hours. Their phones are not working for 24 hours, they're gonna go crazy. So imagine not having access to all these things that you're normally having access to. People are gonna bug the hell out.
But see, it could go either way too, right? Because they could use that as a reason to get the people. So they could also bring it out, and then through the chaos that comes from that, they could push it even further on people.
Exactly.
So at this point, we waiting, because it just takes one catalyst, just one event, and that event is really when the Lord says go ahead. Whatever He uses to start it, He just says go ahead. That's what we're waiting for. Yeah? Sorry, that's it. Let it rest.
Everything is so interconnected that one piece is taken out, the whole thing crumbles. That's what Esau failed to realize when he tried to get the power of the earth in his hand, and he tried to create globalization and have like him being God, to have omnipotency through technology, omnipresence through technology. Well, there's a negative side to that. There's a benefit for things not being connected. There's a benefit for there being fragmentation of things. But when you try to connect everything together and you unwoven you pull one string out, it all falls down. A house of cards.
That's right.
And that's what it is. It's a house of cards.
Say Jenga.
Jenga. Yep.
11. Isaiah 13:11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Yeah, so just like we were saying, the elites, Amalek, that's the arrogancy of the proud. They're the most prideful. That's why they're over there proclaiming. That's why Netanyahu just said that they're the children of light. But the scripture says that Satan can masquerade as a child of light. So it's crazy. You know, he's saying he's fulfilling. I forget some in
Isaiah
Isaiah.
13th chapter where
Yeah.
Jews and Christians are coming. And it's for crazy. I'm like, you're not even a actual like orthodox type. You're a political Israeli. But why are you not calling the scriptures?
Yeah, now all of a sudden, because he wants to rile up the conservatives over there, the Zionists, to go further with the agenda, you know, and he knows he's a double. He's gonna fill Isaiah 63, motherfucker. You're gonna be those on the bloody garments of the Lord, which is all symbolic. You're gonna be a part of that, but you're not gonna fulfill the part of the Israelites, because you ain't. You know, you are. Again, it says, I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You're haughty, you're prideful, man. You know, and the Lord keeps elevating your pride. Just when you think, all right, yeah, they're about to bring that ceasefire. Now they're saying, nah, no ceasefire. America's voted no. And America and Israel is basically synonymous. It's the same devils running the show, because they like to say, well, how can America support this? Motherfucker, it's the same devils running the same shit.
America was set up?
You think they're trying to say, well, America's different, and it's the same elites, Amalekites, devils that's running the show.
Bro, they said Biden's administration is filled with small hats.
Yep.
A lot of the people that you read the Rothschild, the House of Rothschild. They've been infiltrated the government of America.
Yep.
Been long time ago.
Yeah,
And then once they bring out the Federal Reserve, that was like the end of it. That was like that's the house on top of that. I know you want to say something about that, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. There was a book called the Jewish Confederacy, and it shows you how the Confederacy was run by them. They were the ones that had the slave ships, we know. So they were really at the beginning of America, and here they are at them, but they like to hide behind it. Like, no, that's not us. We're Israel, but motherfucker, that's you.
The chief of the nations. First of the nations.
Yeah, damn, I fucking forgot. I ain't gonna hold you. But that was we talking about
No.
Joel 3.
Back in the book of Joel 3.
Hey man, these things are exciting, man. I literally could be here all day. I got something to do. Like, I'm chilling right now. Like, this conversation, this whole conversation is good, man. Because it's like, yo, what else is there to really talk about? Like, what else is there really to talk about? Like, what we're talking about right now? Like, what? Like, we're talking about going to be like the greatest thing ever. Like the greatest. You can't even use the unspeakable joy, like what Peter talked about. Like, you don't. I feel like saying greatest is not even giving it enough. Right? It's not giving it enough.
It's too common a term. I was gonna say with the connections as far as the infiltration of the government or the small head, I was thinking about the character Simon Stern in Power. Remember, like he was just a businessman, so to speak, or a property owner, right? He said something when because that's how Tariq went to the school he's in, because Simon Stern or whatever. But Simon Stern said something to somebody in college. He was like, because he was like, what's the word of people that went there a long time ago? They like alumni. He was an alumni. He said something. He was like, yo, Simon Stern, something. And Simon Stern was like, oh, because I'm having dinner with the commissioner tonight. If you guys have a problem with me being here. And I was like, oh, and that's just a small like businessman. So imagine the government what they infiltrated. Like all these suits, they got connected. They all connected, man. This is all the Zionist show. All of them, and they not all had the same last name. Some Rothschilds could be up in there, but they don't have the last name Rothschild. They be changing their names. You know what I'm saying?
Kissinger changed his name.
I want to say Bill Clinton is one.
Clinton.
Clinton.
The Kissingers. Who's the Bushes.
Yeah, like anybody like kind of in the political realm. It's the house. That's the house, man. The seat.
When you look into 9/11, all of the names surrounding it, there was guys that basically they came out afterwards and admitted what they were doing, and there was like all the Zachheims and the Goldbergs and the
right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we don't get taken down, mention that name, but man, at this point, man, it is what it is. You the double.
That's it.
I remember saying something like that.
Yeah, so
I remember
Speak for yourself.
the 48.
I'm trying to start from 0 subscribers, man.
Back in
You can't do that.
started from the bottom now. Back in Joel 3 and 10, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come.
So for Iran to dish out a threat like that, You go back years ago, that would have been laughable. They'd be like, hey, who the hell are you talking to like that? You know? But now it's like, yo, why do you think the U.S. ain't done nothing to Iran yet?
Right,
We were talking about how they were on their list of countries to invade, right? But now the Lord has set it up. That's why Ezekiel 38 is very key, because Russia is that guard. Russia is there, and they already know that Russia's already in that zone, and they know that, look, if we step here, we're stepping on a trap, because the second we touch Iran, everything is linked. We got our alliances. Guess what? They got theirs too, and they have interest with Russia. Russia has interest with China, right? China has interest with these other nations through BRICS and all of that. So if it comes down to war, the lines are drawn, and trust and believe Turkey ain't gonna be on your side.
Exactly.
You know?
They should hate them.
And they got the largest standing military in Europe, Turkey. They have the second largest. No, they have the largest one in Europe. But they have, not talking about Russia. I'm talking about just like the European. They have the largest in
that region. Okay.
In that region of Europe, and they have the second largest in NATO, because America's the first. But you put Turkey with Russia, and then China, and then Iran, like, and on top of that, it's military. They said that U.S. is running out of military equipment, because they're giving it to Ukraine, they're giving it to Israel, so they're running out of those things. A lot of things. If this escalates, when this escalates, they're going to start actually having people. They're going to take people. Some people they're going to take to war, but then they're going to actually. They're saying that they might force people to actually work in factories to build missiles and do that. So there's going to be an actual draft to work as well, because that actually happened. I forgot which war it was. I think it was World War II, where they had to actually have people work, stop all actual production of society, and you had to just start to like build military equipment. And that could be a way that brings in the MOTB too, because you're not just going to work, like, you're not going to be a banker, you're not going to be, working college tech. You got to do this, right?
Labor camps.
Labor camps. And if that happens, then they can say, all right, we're just going to give UBI, universal basic income. We'll pay for your stuff, but we need to maybe track you for all that, because the market right now is not good. Banks not working, so this is how you're going to get paid. This is another way it could happen.
It's logical way.
Yeah. Would you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was saying when there's still talks going on about cutting benefits, and pretty much the plan was to have these people that are receiving benefits to go fill these manufacturing roles that are being opened, to be just so that they can keep receiving the benefits. Because they're saying, so there's a lot of things that could be done right now. We just paying these people to not do anything. We're paying their rent and paying anything. So now, forget all that. You got to go out, do something, give back, and then we'll give to you. That's pretty much what they're doing over there.
Some people can do that.
Back in Joel 3:11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, till it cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah.
Hey, that's what the Lord is doing. He's gathering the heathen. All those nations over there ain't no. There might be Israelites that's there, but they don't represent Israel. They don't represent the seed of Jacob. So the Lord is literally gathering the heat. And that's spiritual, because you have Esau over there. You got Moab. Now he's not over there, but he's talking about being over there. You got Ishmael over there. You got Elam over there.
Ham? No, I don't think Ham.
Well, it could be with most.
Ashur,
Assyrians, yep. So you got all the heathen there, but there ain't no actual Israelites there. Like, we don't got our nation over there, like, we about to go over there and start some war too. So this is how you know, like, this is another indicator where if all the heathens are there, then who are the not the heathen?
Right.
It's us.
Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
So they're gathering all the heathen to that region. Go ahead.
Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of YAHAWASHI, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
And it's like the Lord is literally like a magnet. Like, he's just drawing them in, Like, we gotta go over there. Like, we gotta, like, the Lord is like, the angels is like, nah, y'all can't come over here. It is like they hear the sound and they got it, and they're forced to do it. They're forced to move.
Right, gotta move.
And we're over here proclaiming it. Prepare war. It's like the heathen be awakened, and they're awake now.
Nobody wants to. Nobody
They're
wants
all
to go to
saying
war.
the same thing, right? But it's like they're like forced. They're being forced.
Yeah.
Oh, that driving force of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI.
Father of spirits.
Father of spirits. All the earth is mine.
You can't help but to do it.
You can't help but to do the Lord's will.
That's crazy.
Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fats, so like the fats overflow.
Hey,
For
the harvest is right.
It's ready.
You go, why? All of those, was that second Ezra 15 chapter? The sinful works or wicked works are fulfilled. Right?
Hurtful works?
The hurtful works are fulfilled. Revelation 18, her sins have reached into the heavens. The Lord have remembered her iniquity. Why does that happen? Because the Lord got the prophets sounding the alarm. He got us crying, and though he bear along with us, but he said he's going to avenge us. You got the number that we have been waiting for is now accomplished. Because all the Lord was doing, he just needed to seal the elect. Revelation 7 chapter. Hold back the four winds until I have sealed my name about God on our servants, on the servants.
Yep.
The 144, that the children, it gives a list. It didn't say everybody in the world. 112,000 from these tribes, 12,000 from that tribe. You know? So now the harvest is right. Now it's time for what needs to be fulfilled to be fulfilled.
Right? Reaping.
The reaping of the grapes.
The harvest, like everything's ready to be the harvest pulled out or whatever.
And what did Yahawah say? As you see the signs, the summer is nigh hand, when it starts to bloom. Know very well that's when all these things should be fulfilled.
The seasons, the signs. This is the season of
If the harvest is only ripe during a particular time of the season, so it can't be changed. You can't say, oh, it's ripe now, but then it's going to be ripe 10 years from now.
Right.
It's not going to be ripe no more.
Right.
This is the actual season of the ripeness. That's why I say put the sickle in. It's good now. Put it in there. Gather it up.
another trend went on.
And the sickle is what farmers use to harvest, because it's like you have the stick, and then you have the hook. You have the stick, the handle itself, and then you have the hook at the end of it, which
Right,
is
that sharp end.
Yes.
Scorpion got that. Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
The sickle. That's where you have the.
Get over here.
The grim reaper. And what they used to do is, like, let's say, the tree grows and you have the fruits that bloom or whatever. So it's time to harvest. What the farmer does is, sometimes the trees are tall. You're not going to be climbing up, going all the way to the top to get all the fruits. So you use a sickle and you chop off the branch.
Yeah.
So the whole thing falls with the cluster of fruits. And then you pick them up and then you do your thing with it. But you just slice it, you get a nice little clean slice. And then the next
Yeah,
season,
sharp.
real sharp. The next season you come about, that branch that you cut off has germinated and it grows new fruit on there. So they don't just shake it off and then take the fruits off. They cut the branch itself, with the sickle. So that's why it says to thrust the sickle in is actually a thing that they used to do back then. To actually, bring down the reap.
Exactly. Sometimes they would also use it to if you had like grains, you would actually cut them into
up.
sheaves,
Yep.
bind them up and put it on the axe.
Yep. Everything goes in the lab. It says, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes in the valley of decision.
So we know it's going to be a great gathering over there, according to the scriptures. Multitudes, right?
I don't think you've ever had that over there.
Yeah. Nope.
World War I, World War II wasn't fought in that region.
Yeah. Okay.
You've had fights in the region, but like they weren't gathered there to fight.
Right.
This is where it's actually they're gathering to this region.
You can tell the severity of this world war. You can tell the severity of this thing. Well, at least the most can.
Because the theme of it is nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
Back then you had, the submarines, the U-boats, the
Dog
fighter
fighters,
jet, dog fighters and all that. Now we're talking nuclear.
That spread throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they got
nuclear.
drones, unmanned drones and all that.
Stuff you can do without being there.
Right, exactly. With a press of a button. I think that was last week they were saying that Putin was seen with his nuclear briefcase.
In China?
Yeah. I'm like, oh shit. All right, so we know, so we don't panic when we hear things like that. But anyone in the world, they'll see that, be like, oh, yo, World War II about to pop up. Not yet. You still gotta worry about the chip. That's
the
what
one.
that's it. That's the one.
And look how quick they actually got to that point.
Yup.
From World War II, where they had the atomic bomb, World War I, that was a little bit, I think World War I was just a little bit over 100 years ago. Right?
Yeah,
1914?
1914.
So it wasn't even that long ago, but look how fast the technology expanded within that short amount of time. And then now they're actually talking about using these things that they just built, a few years ago, a few decades ago.
It's crazy. I read something. They were saying that since 2000, that's when you start to see the boom of technology. You start to see the iPhones pop in, the computers changing, and the digital world went from this big, gigantic hardware to everything becoming smaller and smaller. So you have the big,
Thinner.
more intuitive. Thinner. What's that?
More intuitive.
More intuitive, exactly. So smaller devices that can be used for so many different things. And that's all something that's leading step by step to one thing and one thing only, the grain of rice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the technology, that's the computer interface that they want people to use, but this time it's within you.
It will not only change society, it will change you.
Right.
There you
It's
go.
determined when you live it.
You know? So that's hey, you gotta hey, thank the Lord, man, because we're not bad people, we're not evil. And I can say that because even when the lady and the family were passing by, the little girl, the elder was speaking in the passion, but he was able to catch himself and say, oh, let me be considerate. There's a child passing. You see what I'm saying? We're not spewing evil. Don't listen to these whole ass niggas talking about it's hate speech and all that. Who speaks from the Bible that's hate speech? If it ain't them, they're the ones who do it, not us. You see, we're bringing out the truth. We're bringing out the facts according to biblical prophecy. And whatever happens, guess what? We're not afraid. We're not worried because it's all the will of the Heavenly Father anyway. Again, we're the messengers. But there's a bigger picture. We're just here to tell you what the picture is.
That's the mind YAHAWASHI had. Like, he knew people wanted to kill him. He had a death, you gotta get stoned, but like, yo, I ain't gonna stop speaking because I know what I'm saying is true. Like, verily, verily, I say unto you, like, I'm speaking the truth. And that's the most powerful thing to actually do, to stand on your ground for when it's true. No matter in what actual type of adversity you get. That's what I say. Strive for the truth until death. I'd rather die speaking the truth than to be told, like, yo, tell a lie, you can live.
Right.
And you got people that will easily do that. Easily, like, oh, I lie right now. It's fine, it's cool. And the Lord hates liars.
Yeah. Proud looking at lying tongue, one of the 6 abominable things. 7.
Hey, it's crazy because and even in America's government, they can't really persecute you for speaking the truth. It's part of the their freedom of press, right? When they were coming up with the whole concept of the press, they had to make certain rules and regulations for the press. At first, they were like, nah, we can't add the press to it because guess what? The press be questioning the government. And they said, well, the press can do that because the government was put in place by the people. So if the people can't question what's going on, then there's a problem there. You can't criticize the government, there's a problem there. So they said, okay, fine, you could criticize, but we can't really persecute. If you come up with some false shit about the government, they could come after you. But if you're speaking truth and you're criticizing them based on truth, there's nothing they could do about it. That's where we stand, you see? So we're under the concept of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and all these different things, but guess what? Why are we being persecuted? Why is it that what we're saying is considered hate speech? Because it's the truth. There's a difference. And they can't do anything about it besides what? Demonize the truth. And then now they're justified when they're coming with the force against the truth. But you got it.
Joel 3:14. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. Again, going into how we mentioned, when that day comes, when the missiles hit, it's going to be so much smoke, it's actually going to cover the sky. And the fact also, I know that the sun and the moon represents knowledge and wisdom on the left hand that they have that's being taken away from them, which is leading them into this ditch. The scripture says that the heathen are sunk down in the pit which they made. So they're preparing this. They're thinking that they're going to benefit, but it's really their own tomb of their own downfall.
Digging their own grave.
Digging their own grave.
It's funny because even also with the wisdom and knowledge, when that day happens, YAHAWASHI, all of the knowledge and wisdom that they thought they had, that they deceived the world with, it's all going to go out the window. Nobody's going to be able. You're not going to be able to explain this with any type of knowledge and wisdom that you had or currently in this world. When this actual event happens, YAHAWASHI comes. Only knowledge and wisdom that's going to be able to explain this is the one that we always have. That's it. That's the mystery. That's why we're going to literally, we already know through the Spirit, but we are literally going to be the most wisest people on the earth because we're the only ones that's going to know what this is.
Right.
everybody else is going to, with no degree, no none of that. All that's going to be like, that's not going to profit you nothing. Your money, none of that's going to profit you. You're going to be able to buy the understanding of you. This is going to be a complete mind fuck.
Well, May, it shows you also who the real Israelites are too, because what's being gathered over there, they're all gathering around those people that are calling themselves the Jews for war. You know, when we're in the land, they're going to gather to learn the knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Right now, they're over there gathering, but they're gathering for death and destruction. That's a stone cold cut to show that you are not the real Israelites.
Which was started by them.
Yeah, and you're the ones popping it off.
Word. Y'all the middle of this.
But you bring it, they're coming to a light, but that light is really as darkness. Going down to 17.
No, I mean, let's read down.
Oh, read down and end on 17. Okay. It says, Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI will be the hope of his people.
Yeah, so as all that tumult and all that is going on, the scriptures tell you that the earth is going real to and fro. So the earth is actually gonna shake with all that tension and all that force that is moving in one way and another. But as it says, the Lord is gonna be our hope. So as all this is going on, we're gonna be stable in mind, knowing that globally we are the elect. Before anything happens to us, we're gonna be delivered. You know, we know that at this very point in time, the Lord is coming back. So you won't have people bugging out thinking they're about to die. We're going to be excited waiting to see, okay, when is the Lord coming out? We're going to be looking up every 2 seconds for the first sign of his appearing. You know?
Look up.
He said, then you lift up your head for your redemption draw nigh.
Yep. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Any day
It's
now.
funny because they came out that movie, Don't Look Up.
Yeah, no, yep. That's crazy, right? That's crazy.
Which brought the end of their age.
You didn't look up, yeah.
Sitting there having dinner and the fire came and destroyed them all. And that's what the Lord said will happen. He said in the
Luke
last
17.
day, Luke 17. You know?
Yeah, it says, I'll read it from this point. It says, but Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel.
That's why I said, hey, thou shalt keep it in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you. This is why we're able to have peace when we're talking about all this, because our mind is just stayed on Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI. And everything that we're talking about, all of the chaos, all of the calamities, our main focus is, well, Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI is going to be able to deliver us from this. So we're in peace. That's our hope. Everybody else's hope is in how that problem will be solved. That's not the hope that we have.
Right.
Our hope is, well, how is Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI going to deliver us from this? Because the problem's not going away. It's just going to be, then shall my chosen be known, who the ones that were delivered from those things, from the said perils. All right?
17? Yeah.
So shall ye know that I am Yahweh, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
The Lord's going to cleanse that place, and we're gonna all know. Those that didn't know, they're going to know that this is the work of the Heavenly Father. But for us, it's just going to be fully assured. The Lord said this was going to happen, and he has accomplished what he said he was going to do. And at that point, when all that is cleansed, ain't no heathens going to be coming up and treading Jerusalem underfoot anymore. Both the people and the place.
Hey, that's, oh, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, because it said then. So like that can't be those people there now, because I haven't heard them mention their God once. All I heard is asking America for help, this for help, cry for this, donate money, send money. Where's your Lord? Where's your Savior? It's about time. He should be here. You need him. But he ain't there. He ain't there.
What happened to the God of the Israelites, the God of the Bible? Where he at? Right? Isn't he supposed to be
Y'all been in
with y'all
land.
people? What happened? But guess what? We call upon Yahweh Ba'Hashem YAHAWASHI, and the whole world is going to see the power of the nation of Israel. Just like they did back then. You see, the world is going to see who the true people are based on the interaction we're going to have with our Heavenly Father. Those people over in that land, they're going to be eviscerated off that land. And the Lord is going to send his people back in that land. And it consists of 12 tribes. We don't see 12 tribes over there. The 12 tribes are still scattered till today. All right, and they're being gathered now as we speak through this word. There you go. So everything is evident. You just got to open up your eyes to see it. And guess what? A lot of people are seeing it. those who don't want to see are still seeing it. So there you go.
Hey, but why are they fighting? They're fighting because of the land. That's what they're really fighting about.
Yep.
You got Ishmael and you got was that Ishmael?
Ishmael and
Ishmael and Amalek fighting over the land. And really it's funny because that's the two closest to the actual Israelites. It's Ishmael and Esau. And that's why it says, what, then shall the strangers no more pass through them. Because once Joel 9-16 happens, that's when the Lord said, all right, I'm going to wipe them out, and they're not going to pass through that land no more. There's not going to be a conflict that's going on between two states, two-state peace treaty. Nah, it's not going to be no conflict. I'm going to gather them up, take them out, put y'all there. World set.
Back in order.
That's it. That's it.
It's already written.
Bro, it's written.
And that's the truth.
This ought to have all he is saying.
It's hard to have all he is saying.
We ain't got to do no work. Look at that. Here it is. Y'all doing all that fighting. All we doing is talking, and before you know, we just gonna come and step foot in there nicely. And then you gonna build it up.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, my
Clean it up. First line,
thank you.
in the first line of business. Hey, stupid. In the first line of business for the other nations, when we get in that land, the first thing we talk about way back, clean this shit up.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
Clean up your mess. So ain't no unemployment over there.
What is it, universal basic income? I'm gonna give you the universal basic income.
Equal opportunity.
It's always gonna be work.
No discrimination. Everybody work.
Everybody gonna get work.
Universal basic ass whooping. Y'all gonna get it.
Universal basic service. Hey man, that's the gospel. That's the good news. Hey, we gonna close it out. Alright, so with that, Lord willing, this is edifying unto the elect, giving all praises to
Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Until next time, Shalom.
Shalom to the elect. Shalom.
I said I needed this guy.